swimming superstars are back in the spotlight.
Every time I get behind the block, I kind of ask myself, how much do you want it?
Still doing everything I can in the water just to put myself in the best shape.
Get in, get the job done, get out.
It's all one line. What are you willing to do for it?
Stepping up on the blocks and it's dead quiet. You can only hear your heart beating, and I think that's one of the most alive feelings you'll ever have.
Good evening and welcome to the Gold Coast, where Australia's fastest have gathered for one of the biggest swimming meets on the calendar. The nation's elite will chase times, titles and their place on the world stage. This is the Australian Open, live from the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. Welcome to Nine's coverage of Night 2 of the Australian Open, here live at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. I'm Matt Welsh, joined by MC Bon in commentary. And after a huge night of action last night, this morning's heats really have set up a big night of swimming tonight. What are you looking forward to the most?
Last night was exceptional, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Pallister come out again in that 400. She was so strong in that 800 last night, so I can't wait to see that. Also, obviously, the backstroke I loved. So 100 backstroke with Kaylee McEwen. She swam great in that 200 backstroke. She was a little bit unhappy, so it'll be interesting to see in that 100 if she can come out and really fire something off amazing.
Well, after a big swim in the 100 metres freestyle, King Kyle was the fastest qualifier in the 50 butterfly this morning. So I'll have my eye on that, how they do in my old pet event. And also looking to see whether Bailey Lello can go 2 for 2 in the 100 metres breaststroke. Great swim last night to get over the top of Zach W. Cook in the 200. Can he do it again? So it really is an action-packed night tonight. Let's have a look at the program. Well, first off the mark tonight is the men's 100 metres freestyle multi-class, followed by the women's 100 freestyle multi-class. And then one of my highlights, the men's 50 metres butterfly.
Into that women's 400 freestyle, so that's Pallister, and the men's 200 freestyle, which is going to be very tough. The 50 breaststrokes multi-class, men and women, into the women's 100 butterfly.
Then the men's 100 breaststroke, Bailey Lello up. Can he make it 2 from 2? And women's 100 backstroke after that. Couple of 100 breaststrokes for the multi-class before we move into the men's 100 metres backstroke and the women's 50 freestyle.
Into the men's 200 IM and the women's 200 breaststroke. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Sienna Tui in that 200 breaststroke. Obviously won the 100 last night.
And finishing off the night with the men's and women's 100 butterfly multi-class events, the men's 800 freestyle and a couple of club relays in a mixed medley and a 4x200 for the women's. So a big night of action, and we've got a great team to bring it to you tonight. We are joined in commentary by Matt Thompson and Jake Templeton. Matt, what are you looking forward to?
Well, Matt, we've got the biggest names in the sport all in this pool over the next few hours, so there is so much to look forward to. You guys have run the rule over the highlights of the program. Just picking up on Kyle Chalmers in the 50 butterfly. He's only got to bring his best time down by less than 0.2 of a second to break Matt Targett's Australian record, which has stood since way back in 2009. That could be on the cards tonight. It's certainly something to keep an eye on. And not just Bailey Lello hoping to do doubles. He won the 200 breaststroke last night, lining up in the 100 this evening. But Alex Perkins won the 100 fly last evening. She's the favourite, the overwhelming favourite to win the 50 fly. And, well, we expect Kaylee McEwen to win the backstroke double every time she jumps in the pool. She was brilliant in the 200 last night, and she's got the 100 this evening. But, Jake, we're kicking off with an absolutely stacked men's 100 freestyle multi-class race. Tuckfield lane 3, Crothers lane 4, Island lane 5, Sisman lane 6, and Callum Simpson down in lane 9. So you have to say no more about the depth of this field.
Absolutely, and it's great to join you guys tonight in the commentary booth. Tomo, Em and Welshie, and keep an eye on Rowan Crothers, of course. 918 points this morning, topping the points and fastest hand on the wall. But Callum Simpson, third on points this morning. He is the reigning Paralympic champion in the S8 100 metres freestyle. So Simpson will be really hard to beat, one of the outside swimmers. And of course, with our Paralympic swimming, we do have the multi-class point score system. So we do range from 1 through 14, with 1 being our most impaired athletes. Our physically impaired athletes are ranked S1 through 10, and our vision impaired athletes have a classification of 11 through 13, and 14 is for our intellectually impaired athletes. You will see some of our S15s through 19s racing tonight. These are for our community classifications. But back to your question there, Tomo. Keep it in the middle of the pool with Rowan Crothers, Alex Tuckfield, but don't forget Callum Simpson in lane 9.
Well, he's a hard man to forget. The flying 18-year-old. So Rowan Crothers won the national championship last year. And can he back it up with victory in the Oz Open? Men's 100 freestyle multi-class, our first race on a cracking program on evening 2.
A really strong start in the middle of the pool there from Crothers. We know he's going to be out strong. He was 25.40, the only man under 26 this morning in our multi-class racing. He loves to take it on, and he's almost a body length ahead, adding into this turn here. So keep an eye on Crothers, but on his hip there, really strong swimming from Jack Island, our S14 athlete, through in 25.49 at the halfway mark.
So Crothers, Island, Tuckfield, then Sisman, and Callum Simpson. Let's not forget him wide out in lane 9, but at the moment it is Crothers powering through the water. He's a couple of body lengths clear. At his absolute best here, Rowan Crothers, the Paralympic star, the silver medal winner in Tokyo and Paris. He's also a 3-time world champ in this event, and he lives up to his form with an amazing time, 51.18, 969 points. That is the most points from any of our multi-class athletes for the first couple of days.
What a brilliant swim there from Rowan, out in 24 seconds, 969 points, and the nod of approval. Callum Simpson, identical on his first 50 from his swim this morning, 28.44 on the way out. So he was third in terms of our point score system. We know that 1,000 is a world record relative to the classification, and Tuckfield not far behind Rowan Crothers there, but 2 and a bit seconds, so 110 points plus there, separating Crothers and Tuckfield. Crothers dominant there from start to finish.
A massive win. More than 2 seconds clear of Tuckfield, and then Callum Simpson back in third, but 969 points. That's a massive score from an absolute beast of a swimmer. When he's in full flight like that, it is quite a sight.
Great swim from Crothers as he's poolside now, and he gave the nod of approval, didn't he?
All right, let's head poolside, and our winner is with Emily.
I am. I'm joined by Rowan Crothers right now. What a swim that was, 969 points. Was that what you were aiming for tonight?
Honestly, the points is it's a result of the time. Really happy with the swim. That's quick. Didn't think I'd be that fast. I just came off of doing altitude in the US. Spent about 3 weeks training with some of the rugby guys and a few of my sassy teammates. Every day in and out. I'm racing Sam Short up and back. I'll tell you what, Shorty's got the dog in him. Like, he is such a good athlete. We're racing neck and neck. He won the 400 last night. I won the 100 tonight. So I think we need a few more dogfights in the future.
Absolutely. You took it out hard, that 24.85. That was fantastic, taking that out so hard. Was that your plan?
Honestly, my big plan is just to hold good technique right now, kind of let the swim do itself. And then after this meet's done, we go back, we train our backs off for the next 8 weeks and see what we can do come trials.
What a fantastic swim tonight. That was amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, there he is, the one and only Rowan Crothers. Well, if you want to get the best out of yourself, you've got to train against the best, don't you? And he's certainly doing that. Racing alongside Sam Short, and the altitude seems to have agreed with him because that was an amazing swim.
Absolutely. I love the dogfight as well. Having a dogfight day in and day out of training. He didn't really have a dogfight there, and his competitor, Tommy Gallagher, they race against each other in the S10 classification, so he did have Tuckfield there alongside him, but no Tommy tonight, so he's really posting a time to make Tommy look out, and the rest of the world as well there is Crothers.
I've realised that we all need to do altitude training
100%.
because it's working wonders on these athletes.
Take your marks.
We'll be featuring all the B finals in our coverage tonight of night 2. This is the B final for the men's 100 freestyle multi-class. Some veterans, some youngsters emerging through, including Caleb Nichols in lane 7, who's 13 years of age from the West Illawarra Club.
It's great to see Caleb in the water, and we know that Jack Ireland is the man to beat for our S14 athletes, and there are lots of S14s featuring in this B final. We do have Hamish Keenan, our S9 athlete as well, and down to the turn, a really strong first 50 there. Taking charge there is Logan over in lane 2. Lots of 27s in the middle of the pool as well. So we love the dogfight that Rowan Crothers has announced there, and it's looking like it's going to be one in this B final. Taking charge, lane 2.
Yes, Logan, our S15 swimmer, although there's a sprint finish coming here for the last 20 metres. It's going to go right down to the touch of the wall. It's between 3 of them, and Dyer gets there. Jared Dyer in lane 4. Beating home Lachlan Lau.
Great point score there from James Logan. He had the highest point score, just missing off the final tonight, the A final, and again tonight there was a strong showing from Ryan McGrain in lane 9, but it was Logan in lane 2, 563 points. A really strong swim there from our hearing impaired S15 athlete. This morning he posted 535 points, so it's great to see that heats to final improvement, 563 from Logan tonight. But what a swim from Crothers. 960 odd points there in the A final. He's been talking about that sub 50 for years now, and he hasn't quite knocked that off, but obviously he's in the pool in 2026, so we can assume that 2028's on the cards for Rowan. Maybe that sub 50 barrier might be something that he might be aspiring for in a couple of years' time.
And he has so much experience too, being 28 years of age. He's really been there and done a lot in his career, which is fantastic. So you've got to think that that 50 might come pretty soon.
Let's welcome the girls for the 100 freestyle multi-class. 2 of our out-and-out stars, Lakeisha Patterson in lane 3, Maddie McTurnan in lane 4. Sarah Howe swimming well from the St Hilda's Club. She's in lane 7. And Emmeline Giroux, 15 years of age, finished second to Annabelle Maloney in the 400 metres in the 12 to 15 years age group at the Age Nationals on Saturday. So it's wonderful to see athletes of all ages taking on the Australian Open this year.
They've been really busy, these girls, and keep an eye out for Chloe Osborne as well, Tomo. She topped the points this morning, 782, and she's out in lane 0. So prime example with our para swimming. Don't discount the outsiders, because sometimes they can be our lower class athletes, and we know S7 isn't a lower class, but the only S7 in the field alongside Riley Sayer, so both of these girls will fill the outside lanes, and this morning topping the point score. She was out in 35.57, 113 for her 100. So we know the girls in the middle, Lakeisha Patterson, the visitor Naka Higashi, and Maddie McTurnan will score some high points, but Chloe Osborne, Paralympian, was very strong this morning.
So the 100 freestyle always gets the goosebumps appearing. One of the most sought after events on any program.
Take your marks.
So the final is underway, and a race full of Paralympic stars. A good start in lane 4. Maddie McTurnan has started the race very strongly, and Lakeisha Patterson also in lane 3, right up there on the pace.
A really strong start from the girls this morning. Lakeisha Patterson was second on points, 31-4 through that first 50, but it looks to be McTurnan taking charge. She was really strong on the way out last night in the 200 metres freestyle, and also make sure we keep an eye out in lane 0, Chloe Osborne, 35-5 this morning, identical to her opening split tonight. It is Maddie McTurnan, though, looking really strong through this 75 metres.
She swam brilliantly last evening, and she's backing it up on night 2. Flying through the water. 10 metres to go. Nothing lucky about this whatsoever. Lakeisha Patterson getting home, but Maddie McTurnan, 706 points, a minute, 0.37 the time. But as we have a look at the point scores, it is Lakeisha Patterson who touched the wall in third, topping the points charts. Chloe Osborne, actually. So Chloe Osborne's actually clocked in at 819 points.
That's a brilliant swim from Osborne over in lane 0, 1:12.72, and I'm going to have to take a look at some of these national records here. These girls had some exceptional swims, almost that sub-minute from Maddie McTurnan in the middle of the pool, and we know that the mixed 4x100 metres S14 relay is an event on the cards in LA, but Chloe Osborne, 819 points, and Lakeisha Patterson, silver, with a 1:03.20. We do wait for these results to become official, but our visitor, Naka Higashi, as well, a really strong swim, 1:02.81.
So McTurnan first on the wall, but comes in 5th on the point score. And Chloe Osborne, who touched in 9th position relative to the world record time in the S7 category, has clocked up 819 points and comes out on top ahead of Lakeisha Patterson and Naka Higashi from Japan.
Just shy of her own national record there was Maddie McTurnan. We know she was 5th on points, but 60.2 is her own national record, so a really strong swim, but nothing to take away from Osborne there.
All right, let's go to Matt poolside.
I am here with a fairly subdued winner of the race. You said you're a bit exhausted after the 400 last night, Chloe, but, you know, that was a good swim today.
Yeah, no, we're happy with it. It's a good backup and faster than this morning, so happy.
How did you feel after the 400 last night? You said it really took it out of you, but it was still worth it? It was still good?
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. 400's the main event, so that's the one we wanted to do well in, and quite happy with it. Best I've done domestically, so we're very happy with that, and good to back it up today.
Now, obviously, the 100 and the 400, they're your sort of two freestyle events that you do. Is it hard training for both?
Absolutely. I think it's pretty unusual to do a 100 and a 400, but we do our best, and I'm going to say by the point score it was not too bad.
Well, you're doing your very best. That was a fantastic swim. Well done tonight.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Chloe. Fantastic effort, 819 points, and like all of our multi-class athletes, she has quite an amazing story. She had a rare and aggressive form of cancer aged 12, and she suffered nerve damage and had a spinal injury after surgery to remove that cancerous tumour. And as a result of that, she wasn't allowed to play contact sports or anything where there was impact. So basically, it left swimming, and it's been a wonderful part of her life and helped her, I won't say turn things around, but maybe give a cause for optimism after such a life-changing medical condition.
I love as well how she was talking in the third person there quite a lot. We love this, we love that. And I think she's referring to her coaches, her family, her friends, and for our higher level athletes as well, it's not just this. They have a strength and conditioning coach. They'll be working with psychology, nutrition, massage therapy, so lots of servicing in the corner there for our athletes. So it really is a team effort.
Absolutely, and that team comes into play all the time. You need help getting to training, you need help, you know, being at the pool for long hours too. It's nice to have that recognition for all those other people that help along the way.
Take your marks.
Swimmers are away for the B final in the 100 freestyle multi-class.
Great reaction time in the middle of the pool there from Jessica Lowe, our S19 swimmer, 18 years of age from Melbourne. She was really quick off the blocks and she's already made a strong start. She was almost 4 seconds faster than the remaining athletes in this field this morning. So look for a really strong first 50 here from Lowe as she approaches that turn, the one and only turn, 29.16. So as she approaches this third 25, she'll really look to hold her technique, and she's doing so just now.
So Lowe powering along in front.
Annabelle Maloney as well over in lane 1. She was the first alternate for the A final tonight, meaning she topped the points for these ladies in the B final this morning.
So this is very dominant by Jess Lowe. 101.70, touching the wall in first position. Second on the wall is Gould. Lillian Gould in lane 5. And then Jade Lucy in lane 3 was third. And what does the point score tell us?
Annabelle Maloney, a really strong swim there, 595 points. So this morning she had a strong swim, 1 minute 10, and she's beaten that time from this morning. So putting her hand up for potentially an A final next year, but let's not take away from Osborne, Lakeisha Patterson, Naka Higashi from the A final. Some really strong swims there from those ladies. But a big bunch of 500s in that B final, so keep an eye out for some of these youngsters in the future. We had a 13-year-old in there, Mackenzie Gibbs. Also a 17-year-old, Rebecca Fraser. Really exciting times with LA approaching in 2 years' time.
There's only 100 points in that first to 10th position, so that's a great final to be a part of.
It's great to see, and obviously we know that 1,000 points is the standard, but we want these girls to continue to improve on their point scores over the years.
So the men's 50 butterfly. I've got butterflies in my stomach. The 50 butterfly, and Kyle Chalmers. He's been absolutely electric for all of his swims in the 100 free, which he won last night. He cruised through in a super fast time in the heats this morning, and I'm just wondering if that Australian record might be on his mind. It's got to come down less than 2/10. Stood since 2009, Matt Target's Australian record.
Yeah, there's not much in it, but we know these guys aren't fully tapered yet. Obviously, that big meet will be trials. So, I mean, if he does it tonight, he's in a fantastic position for trials. Obviously, we know these form strokes are now added to the Olympics, so it makes it even more exciting, these 50 form strokes.
Yeah, absolutely, Em. And I think for our sprinters, you've mentioned the word taper. I think for our sprinters, they just don't sharpen up as well when they're not tapered. And for our endurance athletes, you can probably see it in their back end. They just don't hold their endurance through the race when they're not tapered. So really interested to see how Kyle goes tonight.
Well, Calabiago is enjoying the occasion.
Good to see. I liked that. Bit of a dance move.
Why not?
So a hush descends over the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. And how fast will these sprinters go?
Take your marks.
It's a pretty strong field. Matt Temple, lane 2, Isaac Cooper, lane 3, Chalmers in 4, Armbruster in 5. They're the big guns we're expecting to fight it out. And Chalmers, he's in the lead. And look at this. He's absolutely pulling away with enormous authority. He's going to win by 2/3 of a body length, 22.77.
Sure he's got it.
Just outside the Australian record.
What a swim there from Kyle Chalmers, 22.77, just 4 100ths away from Matt Target's Australian record. He really pulled away in the middle third of the pool. His swimming speed was exceptional there, Chalmers.
So our own butterfly world champ Matt Welsh is back with us. What'd you make of that?
Yeah, he really pulled away in that second 25. Great start, but, you know, nothing extraordinary compared to the rest of the field. But he just got faster and faster. hit the wall in a full stroke, which is what you always want. And I thought he had it. I thought the distance he had on the rest of the field, I thought he had it. But that was, so close. Such a dynamic swim.
Wow, he's gone under 23 seconds and quite comfortably. Kyle Chalmers continues to wow us. Freestyle or butterfly, it matters not. Ben Armbruster finished in second and Isaac Cooper in third. All right, let's catch up with the King poolside.
I am with the King right now, and he's pretty happy with that. Just outside the Australian record. What's the plan going into trials now? To break that?
Absolutely. I want to get faster every time I stand behind the blocks and have the opportunity to race. So something I've been putting a bit more time and emphasis on in training is my butterfly. So it's good to see that it's actually working, and I'm swimming PBs. There's nothing better, I think, in swimming than swimming a personal best time.
Absolutely, and you must be so excited that the Olympics has now added those Form 50s into the program. Does that excite you with what's to come for LA?
Absolutely. I think for me, that was probably my very best event growing up, was the 50 butterfly. I won a silver medal at the Open Nationals in 2014 when I was maybe 14 or 15 years old. So to be able to actually go back to swimming the event that I'm probably best suited to is very exciting.
Now, you've been on the team for quite a long time. You're 27 now. You're probably one of the most experienced athletes out there on the Dolphins team. What do you wish you could say to yourself from your very first team?
Just slow down and enjoy it. It goes so quickly. Like, I've been on the team now for 11 years, but it feels like I'm really only just starting out. So it does go so quickly, and you put so much pressure and expectation on yourself to try and win medals or break records or swim PBs even, but you don't actually slow down and enjoy the big moments and opportunities that come. So I wish maybe earlier in my career I did that, but I'm doing that now that I'm a little bit older.
Well, we know Astrid's cheering you on, and so are we. That was a fantastic swim tonight. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thanks. It's good to see you.
Yes, well done, Kyle Chalmers. Well, he won an Olympic gold medal as a 17-year-old. He's 27 now, and it's arguable he's swimming better than ever, Matt.
Yeah, he's a very big lad, and he's got such a great outlook. He is very suited to the butterfly, as he said. He's got enormous shoulders. That upper body strength is quite incredible. But yeah, fantastic to see that he's still got so much drive in mentally and physically moving forward. And it's I wouldn't want to be his competitor, put it that way.
Well, I think the general understanding was he was going to give it away after Paris, but
he's found a new love.
He's obviously, he seems to have sort of rediscovered his best form, but it's a completely different outlook now. He's an optimistic guy. He seems smiling when he's chatting to us poolside, and it's got a great feel about it.
Yeah, I think sometimes you do get caught up in the moment, and you get caught up in, the little 1%ers, and you focus on that, and you sort of forget about the bigger picture stuff, as he said. And I think that was very good advice to just slow down, enjoy the ride, and take it all in. That's definitely very good advice for the up and coming swimmers. And speaking of up and coming, we've got the B final now. So they saw how it was done in the A final. Now the B final for the 50 metres butterfly. Expect a dynamic first 15. A number of the swimmers will go their first 15 underneath the water, and then a big breakout and hard to the finish.
A very even start, not much between the entire field as they come up after 15 metres. Halfway through now, 25 metres to swim. And again, it is a wall of white water. Who knows who's going to end this? Maybe in the centre of the pool. This is going to come right down to the wall. It's Thomas Nankervis in lane 4.
Really came down to who was going to time that touch, just like Kyle did in that A final, in the final prior. He really nailed that touch, and Nankervis really getting onto that wall on a full stroke, which is what we look for in those sprint events.
Yeah, he definitely had his head in front, Nankervis, and I did feel that Quash was second through, so they timed their touch well. Only 4 100s back to third, so Very tight racing as we expect in these 50-metre swims. So times now on the board and everything official for the B final.
We'll take a break here on Nine's coverage of the Australian Open for 2026. We've got the men's 200 freestyle final coming up after this. Great to have you with us on another glorious night here at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre in Southport on the stunning Gold Coast. We have been treated to some magnificent weather for the last few days. Great crowd in tonight, and they're all encouraging our superstar swimmers. We've got a wonderful car to bring your way over the next few hours. Some great finals racing, and the women's 400 freestyle coming up now. Lani Pallister was in cruise control in the heats this morning, but I can imagine she's going to go all out in pursuit of the 800 400 double. She's up against Erica Fairweather and Jenna Forrester, along with Maria Costa, our visitor from Brazil. They're the swimmers most likely to give her a challenge, if in fact there is anyone who's going to challenge Lani, given the way that she's swimming at the moment.
Yeah, you don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion. That's the whole point of sport, is we don't know what's going to happen. But Lani Pallister, after an incredible 800 last night, and just toying with the race. I don't want to say toying with the field, but toying with the race this morning, doing some 50s hard, some 50s easy. It was quite unique. You don't often see that from the swimmers. So she's very in control of what she's doing. She can play around, but I don't think it's time for playing now. It's time to get in and do it properly. So it'll be very interesting to see what she does. She looked like she was sprinting the 800 last night. This 400 is going to be even faster. She's bopping along with the music too. She's very relaxed.
Well, Lani gave everything she had in the 800 final last night, so much so that she was a little ill when she got out of the pool, and she's back in action here in the 400, swimming out of lane 5 in a race that is stacked with St Peter's Western talent.
She took that 800 out really hard last night, so I expect she'll do the same tonight. And she is leading through that first 50 already, 27.67. You said that you saw her dancing on the blocks, but I feel like that's her nervous energy, that she's just trying to get out. She can't stay still.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It was incredible watching her stroke ratings. That's the cadence, how quickly the arms roll over in the water in the 800 last night. You expect in a 16-lap race, the 800, that it's going to be a little bit, backing off, but she just attacked it. It's exactly what she's doing right now, as you said, Em. Taking him down at the 100-metre mark, 57.40. That is a very fast 100 for anyone, especially at the start of a 400. Fairweather right on her shoulder, 57.80. And Costa third, Forrester fourth.
Yeah, Fairweather is not trying to let her get too far ahead there, but you can see with Pallister, her stroke rate is so much higher than Erica right there beside her, and she's barely using her legs yet. So we know that she'll bring those legs in, maybe on this second 200.
It's a high stroke rating, but it's not a short stroke at all. She's got such long arms and she pushes the stroke all the way to the back. She manages to find that balance between stroke rating and stroke length so well. And an absolute demonstration of exactly how to swim these distance events. And she kind of makes these distance events look short. She goes after it. There's no backing off at any time.
So halfway through the race now, Lani Pallister leading, Erica Fairweather close up and trying to keep Lani within her reach. Maria Costa in third position, and there's Jenna Forrester. And next to Lani, they're training mates at St Peters Western, and Forrester in fourth position in lane 6.
We know how good Lani is at the short course. She may think that long course is her game, but she's so strong in her turns. You'll see her come into this turn. What do you think there? She's got just over a body length, thereabouts. She comes in and off, and she's already increased that lead. So she's so strong in that breakout phase. You can see there Fairweather right next to her, just losing about half a body length on the breakout.
She's so powerful on those turns, but watching her, she barely does any underwater kicks. So she really holds on to the legs, but it's all that power she produces off every single wall. So that's impressive to watch. And something we see with those distance swimmers is they don't tend to utilize that underwater. It's all about saving their legs for the end.
No, she has a really nice glide off the wall with 100 metres to go. The kicks are starting to come in now with 100 to go, but she has a nice glide off the wall, but then powers the arms and the legs all at once to give her, it's almost like pushing a boulder, getting the car rolling, and then she just flows it down the rest of the lap.
So Lani in control. The fight for second place is interesting suddenly, with Erica Fairweather under siege from Maria Costa in adjacent lanes 4 and 3 respectively. But as Lani turns for the final 50, she's a couple of body lengths ahead of Erica Fairweather, and she is swimming in undeniably good form. She's powering her way towards yet another victory. The 400 to go with the 800 from last night. And Lani Pallister is loving life on the Gold Coast. Another big win. Second, Erica Fairweather. Third, Maria Costa. She's gone under 4 minutes as well. 3 minutes 59.36.
What a swim for Lani Pallister. Under that 4-minute barrier. 3:59.36. She really went out hard and just kept pushing and extending on that lead. Fairweather in that second touch, 4:02.09, and Costa third there in that 4:03.41. Forrester with that fourth touch on the wall, 4:08.21. Big night of racing for her last night, so great to see her back out there. But Pallister takes out the win very comfortably too, in a very fast time. Those results official on your screen right now. Lani Pallister, your Australian Open champion. As we look last year, 4:02.34, so to be so much faster than that this year, it's fantastic to see, and it must give her so much confidence.
And I'm pleased to report she looks a lot more healthy tonight than she did when she spoke with you last night, Emily.
Yes, Matt's not in trouble tonight of any accidents, but something else that I love about Lani is she loves a good TikTok and talking about her mascara. So maybe Matt can ask her right now because he's on pool deck with her.
Over to you, Matt. We'll leave the questions to you.
They're asking me to ask about your mascara. What's going on with that?
I think it's funny. Swimming's kind of like a masculine sport, so a lot of the girls either get their nails done or wear mascara and fake eyelashes. So, yeah, I think it's really fun to make a TikTok about it and post my mascara on there before I race. And yeah, I'm pretty lucky that they look nice on camera.
Well, speaking of fun, that was a fun swim to watch. You were full of energy before the swim. You were on the blocks jigging and trying to manage that nervous energy, we guess. But that was a really strong swim, getting under 4 minutes.
Yeah, I was 4006 in China 2 weeks ago, and I had a pretty good swim last night, so I knew that I'd be ballpark that or a little bit faster, but I'm happy with a 3:59 in season. That's my second fastest time ever, just behind Worlds last year in Singapore. So, yeah, I'm really happy with my progress this season, and going forward into commies and Pan Packs this year, it'll be a really big year.
Well, huge confidence after, as you say, the 800. I've got to say, the 800 was the swim for me. The 400 was great, but that 800 last night was amazing. Moving forward, what does this mean? You have taken a big step. What does this mean for resetting goals?
Yeah, I think Dean set the bar pretty high for me, and so has Mick and all the staff at St. Peter's Western, which has been really fun working with them and finding different race plans and different strategies on how to improve in training. But I'm a very hard taskmaster. I think once I achieve something, I move the goalpost anyway and want to be bigger and better and stronger, and that's what I've done for the past 18 months.
Well, the swim looked great. Your mascara looks great. Best of luck for the rest of the...
Thanks so much.
And I think most importantly, her form looks great, continuing to improve rapidly. Our own Lani Pallister.
Matt, up close, how did that mascara look? Because it looked great on camera, and it must have looked even better in person.
I'm not sure Matt Welsh is the person to ask about makeup tips.
Oh, no, I've got 3 daughters.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just glad it didn't run. A lot of the time, the girls put the mascara on, they look like a panda.
No, there's waterproof mascara now.
See,
come on, Matt.
I will have to tell
Get with
them.
the program, will you? All right, time for the men's 200 free. And the strength of this field is actually summed up best by having a look at those athletes who are in the B final who missed the final. The likes of Godemans and Giuliani, the reigning national champion. Didn't even qualify for the A final. Elijah Winnington is there. He'll swim out of lane 1. Maybe the swimmer to beat Lewis Clareburt from New Zealand, who's been in sensational form. Ed Somerville was second at the Nationals last year. We know Harrison Turner. He's in blistering form, particularly in the butterfly. And Will Petrie coming off an excellent campaign at the China Open. And again, further indication of just how strong this race is, given that Elijah Winnington is coming out of lane 1.
Well, we talk a lot about the pacing in the 200 metres freestyle, and the last heat this morning, the third heat this morning, they did take it out a tiny bit easier, and so many of them have pushed their way into the final tonight. So pacing is going to be key for tonight's final.
Take your marks.
It's a quality field for the men's 200 freestyle final. Some of the big guns in action. And a good start by Cameron Bladen over in lane 0. But pulling through in the centre of the pool, Ed Somerville represented the Dolphins on debut at the World Champs in Singapore last year. Kai Taylor was in second, Lewis Clareburt after the first 50.
Yeah, great first 50 there from Somerville in lane 4. Kai Taylor taking out this event a couple of years ago, so he knows how to swim the 200. But coming through in the middle now, Lewis Clareburt. Looks like he'll probably touch second, but it is Somerville with a good lead, just over almost a second on the rest of the field, 50.83, so close to going sub 50 in that first 100. Taking it out pretty strong. We expect to see a few moves in this third 50, and they're going to try and catch him, but he's pushing away further from the rest of the field. This is a very strong swim. Clareburt trying everything he can to get up on his hip and go with him. And he's doing a really good job now in the second half.
So Somerville continues to lead, although Clareburt looks like he's eating into this margin. He's getting ever closer to the New Zealander. Ed Somerville leads, but Clareburt is coming after him. It's Somerville hanging on, but Clareburt coming over the top. Somerville trying to dig deep, but Clareburt has been in sizzling form over the first couple of days, and he goes through to win. It's Somerville second, and Kai Taylor naps third spot.
Well, we said it at the start, pacing was going to be key, and what an incredible paced swim. Lewis Clareburt coming over the top. You could see the pace he had in that third 50, the back half of the third 50, and he just had the momentum in the last lap of that 200. A 1:45.5. He's got to be happy. That is a very quick time. Second and a half off Ian Thorpe's Commonwealth record. And you said it at the start, Matt, that was a quality field, and the times show that.
So he's gone a second and a half faster than Max Giuliani in the Nationals last year to win. Stunning swim, particularly the last 50 metres where Lewis came storming home.
He was almost a second quicker than Somerville next to him in the last 50. 26.91 versus 27.81, so 9/10 of a second. Had the fastest last 50, and if you're going to do it, that's when you need to get the speed on.
He's surprisingly pleased with that too. Our winner, Lewis Clareburt. So he won quite handsomely in the end in a fantastic time, 1:45.57. Second to Ed Somerville, Kai Taylor, finishing in third position. All right, Ed Somerville is joining Emily.
I've got him right here, Ed. What a swim that was. You took it out really hard, 50.83. Lewis just swam over you in the last 15 metres, but it was neck and neck that entire race. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was good. I think we just come here to race hard in work. And, yeah, I think it was quite disappointing to see Lewis just fly past me that last 25-ish metres. But working towards trials, hopefully get the Australian record.
Amazing. You've had a massive year. You had, obviously, world champs last year. What are you looking forward to this year?
Just more overseas racing. Still pretty new to the scene, so just any experience before LA is invaluable.
Absolutely. I mean, you were flying out there tonight. What else can we see you in?
That's probably it. I don't think I can really do much more than a 200 at this point.
Well, get back into that training pool because you are flying and you're going to be a cracker for trials, and we can't wait to watch you.
Thank you.
Well done, Ed. Second for him behind New Zealand's Lewis Clareburt. Now, this would have to be one of the strongest B finals I think I've ever seen. We've got Matt Galea, Jack Cartwright, Ben Godemans, Marcus Da Silva, Max Giuliani.
He's the title holder
Flynn
from last
Southam.
year, as you said, exactly, Flynn Southam. This is a very strong B final. This almost looks like an A final. If you told me, I'd believe it. So same deal, the 4 laps. Flynn Southam down there in lane 9, so it'll be interesting to see if he pushes out and does something remarkable. It was a very fast heat swim this morning. I think a few of these swimmers were surprised they didn't make the finals. They swam fast times. You'd think a 1:49.5 would make the final, but it was pushed out. And now they're left with a B final.
Take your marks.
So some genuine talent in the pool for this B final in the men's 200 free.
And like you said, there's so many names that just missed that A final this morning. So it just goes to show that they can still produce really good times tonight. Another chance to come back and do it all under lights, taking them through. Southam there out in lane number 0, 25.17. Da Silva in that second turn, 25.46. But look at Southam there out in lane 9. This is where that sneaky outside lane helps you out because the boys can't see that far down the pool.
Yes, it's head down and focus on your own race. And Flynn has made a very strong start down at the bottom of the pool here in lane 9. And similarly Jack Cartwright also swimming all over in lane 1. So Max Giuliani pulled through actually to lead after 100 metres. Second, Marcus De Silva, then Cartwright and Southam.
Yeah, only about 0.1 or thereabouts between Giuliani in the middle of the pool and Southam all the way out in lane 9. So he'll be breathing to his left, looking across, just pacing himself. You can see him down the bottom of the pool. But big swim there from Marcus De Silva to take over the lead with 100 at the 150 metre mark. 1 lap to go with a 1 at 20.93. This has got to be a really quick last 50. And we can compare the times. Giuliani now just wanting to get his hand on the wall first. A big batter with 15 to go.
So we know how fast Max is at his best, but Marcus De Silva, the teenager, he did the 100-200 double at the Age Nationals last year. He's trying to hold off Giuliani. Max got there on the wall.
Wow, how did he do that? 4 100ths of a second. Max with a huge reach. All the young swimmers out there, when the coach tells you to work on your finishes, keep your head down, off to your side, stretch out, and you'll get over the top. I really felt that De Silva was in front. I thought he would have touched the wall first, but what an incredible finish there from Max Giuliani.
Good to note too, last year he obviously won this event but was swimming with TSS Aquatics, so he's obviously moved to Miami now, so new training program takes a little bit to build into, so maybe that's why we didn't quite see him in that A final this morning.
Well, that time probably would have got him there, 1:48. In fact, no, it would have just missed the A final. So that's how quick the A final was. But a great swim nonetheless.
And plenty more action still to come here from the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. Night 2 finals action at the Australian Open of 2026. Great to have your company wherever you're watching on 9 and 9 now, right around Australia. Night 2 action at the Australian Open 2026 in glorious conditions here on the Gold Coast. Some more multi-class swimming coming your way right now. The men's 50 breaststroke final. And Jake's back with us.
We're really looking forward to this one. We know at the Commonwealth Games this year, the male SB9 classification, my apologies, in the 100-metre breaststroke, that will be an event on offer. So we may not see too many of our SB9s in action in the 50. We do also have the 100 breaststroke later on tonight. Bo Matthews is one to keep an eye on. He is an SB9 athlete. He's elected to do the 50 tonight, not the 100. So maybe sharpening his tools over that front end of his race. He was second on points this morning behind Joshua Wilmer. So he's going to be doing the 100 metres tonight as well, Joshua Wilmer. So he's an SB8 swimmer, potentially on the cards for the Commonwealth Games this year as well. And Ahmed Kelly, 6 over in lane 9. He's our SB3 swimmer from Yarra Plenty, the oldest in the field, 34 years of age. Qualifying time from this morning, 56.88, a couple of seconds off his personal best. So we'll look for Ahmed, hopefully, to improve on that preliminary time this morning with that Paralympic Games medal experience in the 150 individual medley.
Oh, Jake, I've been looking forward to this race as well, mainly because of Ahmed. I've been friends with Ahmed for a long time, and he is one of the the best gentleman in the field. He's one of the biggest smiles. And he had a beard this morning after his swim, and I said, come on, mate, you've got to get rid of the beard. He goes, yeah, okay, I might get rid of it. So hopefully he's clean-shaven and ready for this 50 breaststroke. But this multi-class event, everything from SB19s, SB3, everything in the middle. So this will be tough to call with the point score.
Yeah, we know that Ahmed, being an SB3, will have some time on his side, so the middle lanes expect to touch the wall first, but we know that Ahmed Kelly, being an SB3, 56 seconds, he might be 20 to 30 seconds slower than these boys, but due to a greater impairment, he may top the point score. We'll see how Ahmed goes as they line up behind the blocks. Beautiful night here on the Gold Coast. Waiting for these gentlemen to get ready for their race, and as they get the whistle now.
Take your marks.
The one-lapper for the breaststrokers. Should be another fascinating finish here. Good start by Hajjaj in lane 4 and Matthews in lane 5.
Really strong start there from the boys in the middle. We know that tonight Joshua Wilmer's going to be contesting the 100 metres breaststroke later on, but a really high stroke rate in lane 4 from Hajjaj. He's put a bit of a gap on the field in that middle third of the lap.
He's been swimming very strongly, and he goes on to touch the wall first in a good time, 30.70.
Really strong point score there, 32.94 from Wilmer, and more as well, 695, but we know that we need to keep an eye on here. Ahmed Kelly and McGrain in lane 0. As we cheer Ahmed on as he passes that final 5 metres. $55.03 for Ahmed Kelly, our SB3 swimmer, 603 points. It is going to be Wilmer, though, our SB8 athlete. A really strong swim there from the New Zealand visitor. He's going to be backing up tonight in the 100 metres breaststroke. A strong swim there from Wilmer, even faster than his swim this morning. He was 33 this morning and 32.94 tonight to top the points, quite convincingly.
Yeah, strong swim. We've seen some very big point scores in the multi-class events at this meet. And not a lot between them. Ahmed Kelly, as he said, 6.03, McGrain 6.08. But then our placings of Matthews Moore and Wilmer taking out the win. Hajjaj was fast in that 50, wasn't he? 30.7, 518 points. Almost didn't give himself time to breathe. He was so quick in his rating and how quick he was to the wall. But S19 compared to the world record.
His rating really high there was Hajjaj. That was a really nice swim. Joshua Wilmer topping the points, but we do know that the Australian champion there will be more. Of course, Wilmer being our visitor from New Zealand.
So we move straight into the women's multi-class 50 metres breaststroke. Imogen Nolan, fastest qualifier to the wall this morning, 34.10. And looking across the field, a lot of SB14s, SB19s, and Imogen herself an SB15.
And with every classification having slightly different events on the Paralympic Games schedule, of course in LA 2028, and these events do change from Paralympics to Paralympics. At the Commonwealth Games this year, it is slightly different. For our men, it's going to be the SB9 100 breaststroke, but for the women, it's the SB8 100 metres breaststroke. So that's for the Commonwealth Games this year. Alyssa Gillespie is an SB8, and she's going to be doing the 100 metres breaststroke later tonight as well. So she wasn't in the top 3 in terms of points this morning, but the 100 is a really important event. So perhaps a warm-up here for her, if we can call it that. Imogen Nolan was well and truly ahead on the points this morning, though. So not only the fastest on time by almost 3 seconds, she was 824 points, with the nearest to her, Sarah Hancock, our SB6 athlete, with 608 points this morning. So Even Sarah was another 160-odd points ahead of Elodie Seabuyer. So looks like Nolan and Hancock, despite being completely different classifications here, they will dominate the points.
Well, all of our swimmers tonight have been embracing the occasion. We've seen some dances, we've seen some love hearts, we've seen some other gestures. But
they're getting into it, aren't they? It's fantastic.
They're all smiling and enjoying the big stage, as they should.
Take your marks.
That was a super fast start. And Nolan and Wallington both away very quickly in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, Wallington had an absolute leap off the block, but as soon as they got into stroke, the speed of Imogen Nolan has pushed her into the lead. She had a good lead from this morning, about 2 or 3 seconds off the rest of the field, and that's what we're seeing now. So driving down to the wall now, really nice stroke. Great distance per stroke, even in the 50.
And Nolan goes through to win in 810 points. That's going to be hard to topple. Wallington in a second position. Third goes to Ryder in lane 3. But that is a knockout swim from Imogen Nolan.
A really strong swim there as well from Sarah Hancock, our SB6 swimmer all the way from Darwin. So this morning she had 608 points and she's improved on her preliminary swim. A really strong performance there from Hancock. She's going to take the silver. Of course, we need to consider points here, our multi-class point score system, but it was Nolan, our SB15 swimmer, in the middle of the pool. Not only did she dominate the points there, but also the time. So a really strong swim, just a shade away from her heat swim time.
Just looking at this replay, Wallington just bounded off the blocks, but it didn't take long for Nolan to catch up with her as soon as they hit the water.
It's really important that these girls nail all aspects of the race. As dominant as that dive and underwater work was from Kate Wallington, we do need to get up and get swimming. That does take up more of a percentage of that race, and of course there Nolan demonstrated that. A really strong swim, 34.29, and all of these girls, of course, working on these skills in training every day. This is no surprise, and this is what we train for.
Sleeping, let's be honest.
Some of these girls looking to back up later on in the 100 metres breaststroke. For a lot of these classifications, the 50 isn't on offer on the international scene, but a great warm-up potentially for the 100 metres, which is on later.
Let's head to Welshie.
Later on.
I am down here. Sorry, I didn't hear. We were having a very lovely chat here about what was going on. We were saying you've got another swim later tonight, but it was a good swim in the 50.
I definitely think it was some improvements that I could have made, but it's definitely good practice towards my age. So, yeah, I'm looking forward for that.
The multi-class swimmers have been so fast this whole meet. Does that inspire you to really lift to that level?
I'm not sure what you just said, but I don't know how well my lip reading is, but...
I was trying to be slow. The multi-class swimmers have been so fast. Does that make you want to swim faster? Nope, okay. Try. Look, later tonight you've got the 100 breaststroke. Do you feel after that 50 you're in good stead for that?
Breaststroke? Good. Yeah.
The 100?
Oh, yeah, the 100. It was a little bit off my PB, but yeah, still good practice towards age. So, yeah, definitely looking forward for that.
Very good. Well, I'll practice speaking a bit slower to help you, but well done tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
Classic.
He's done a great job there, Welshie.
That doesn't dent his confidence as an interviewer one bit.
He's a fantastic swimmer, and it's great to see our hearing impaired athletes here as well. You'll note that SB15 and our S15 athletes, they won't be eligible for the Paralympic Games and World Championships, but they've got something called the Deaflympics, Tomo, that they can do on the international scene.
Okay, we're learning a lot from your immense knowledge of
Well, I
Paralympic
won't
swimmers.
put myself down to do any interviews at the Deaflympics because clearly
I was doing something wrong.
You may need to learn. You have to learn to sign.
I'd have to do it to Auslan, exactly. I can do letters in Auslan. It would take me ages, but I'd get there.
It'll be tough. That will be very tough.
It'll be worth the wait just to watch you conduct an interview in that manner.
We'll be back in 1 hour.
Well, it won't take an hour to finish this race because it's the 100 butterfly final with some real speed machines in action. Lizzie Deckers swimming from lane 6, our star 200 butterfly swimmer, Olivia Wunsch. Lane 5, Alex Perkins, won the 50 last night in fine fashion. So, what have we got here? We've got 7 of the 10 swimmers that have gone under a minute, and in the case of Alex Perkins, she went under 58 seconds.
That was a great swim from Alex this morning. She's really shifted gears over the last few years, of course, with McKeon and Throssell retiring. Perkins has really taken the reins, and this morning she was dominant after her 50 last night as well.
Yeah, sometimes when these big names retire, the opportunity, the door opens, and Perkins really wants to make the most of it, put her name down.
Take your marks.
Alex Perkins looking for the sprint butterfly double. She's the second fastest Australian of all time. 56.19 at the World Champs in Singapore last year, and she is setting the pace through the first 50 metres already. Has a decisive margin. Alex Perkins flying along in front.
The body length ahead at the turn.
Good swim in the outside lane there from Owen Hand, our visitor from New Zealand, but cannot match the pace of Alex Perkins in the middle of the pool. That was a blistering first 50, and she's not holding back. 25 to go. She's extending the lead.
Let's see how fast she can go here, Alex Perkins. Can she beat her personal best time? She's a mile ahead. Absolutely tearing through the water. She might be just slowing up a fraction as she gets to the wall, but there's no doubt about the victory. Alex Perkins wins the 50 and backs up to win the 100. Lizzie Deckers gets second, and Lily Price finishes in third.
There really was a race of one there. Perkins out in that 26.24, so home in 30.97. A really strong swim there from Perkins, taking the gold. It was a battle, and she was on her own, but it was a battle for the silver and bronze and minor placings, but it was really nice to see a strong back end. Not surprising from the 200 butterfly. Lizzie Deckers 58.21. Another half second ahead of Lily Price in 58.70, and you could almost throw a blanket across the rest of those girls from 3rd through 6th. Just that last 20 metres, wasn't it, Tomo? She was really strong through the 50 out in that 26 low and held strong through the third 25, and maybe that might be not completely fresh coming into this meet, who knows, but we know that, of course, the trials is the next benchmark meet this year for these athletes. A really strong swim there from Perkins, 57.21.
She was so fast through the first 50 metres, there was going to be no catching her in the end. The margin tightened up a little bit, but that was a very, very strong win by the nation's leading female butterfly swimmer, particularly in the sprint events, Alex Perkins. Encouraging swim by Lizzie Deckers. She's right on track for the 200, and Lily Price sneaks into third spot.
Exactly a second ahead, wasn't it? 57.21 and then 58.21. So some smiles of Alex on the way out of the pool too.
And let's hear from her right now.
I'm here with Alex Perkins. That was a fast swim, but it looked like you threw everything at it.
Definitely, I wanted to go out hard and just see what I had on the way back. And I think I did that, so I can be proud of it.
I can guarantee you did that. You looked incredible in the first 50 and held on really well towards the back end, especially you're still in high training.
Yeah, definitely. We haven't really backed off coming into this, and I've had a few days of doubles, so just happy to get out there and see what I can do.
As you say, those doubles, backing up race after race and swimming great times like that, it's got to give you confidence this part of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the fastest time I've gone in season. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't after that 56 high, but just take lessons away from it, yeah.
Well, it's fantastic to watch you swim no matter what the event, free, fly, the whole thing, and now you're really making the butterfly your own. Is that something you really want to do, put your name down, stamp it on the fly?
I've never really thought of it like that, but I think I'm definitely chasing that 55, so see if I can get there.
Well, start thinking about it. I'm going to put it forward to you right now. Put your name on that fly.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Good job.
Thank you.
Only because you told her to. Matt, well done. Great win again by Alex Perkins.
I'm sure she's thinking about it. She'd have to be. She lives and breathes this, Perkins.
Yeah, she was just being coy. Of course she wants that, her name. She wants that fly all to herself. That's why she went out hard to dominate the race.
All right, B final time.
What does it mean to throw the kitchen sink at it? Because she did, but I don't know what that means.
You have got nothing left to throw at it. The only thing left in the house is the kitchen sink. And she really did throw it all at it. She said, yeah, it really hurt that last 20 metres when I was chatting to her before. She said that, that hurt a lot, but she said expect it to. She knew it was going to. She knew if she went out hard, she wouldn't be feeling great in the last 20. So it all went to plan. And that's really all you can ask for at this time of the season.
Such a demanding discipline, butterfly swimming.
Take your marks.
Lane 0, Sophie Mays. Lane 1, Talia Hanson. Lane 2, Zoe Pedersen. Lane 3, Mackenzie Burns. Poppy Stephen. Lane 4, Lucy Drigg. Lane 5, Mia Yo. Lane 6, Lane 7, Alice Monaghan. Lane 8, Esme Patterson. And Neve Tassiter in lane 9.
Well, we talk about it in the heats, the outside heats being really, really close. This is what we've got in the B final. It's very tight across the field. Probably lane 3 at this stage. It is Mackenzie Burns touches first, but what are we looking at? Only about a second separating the entire field at the halfway mark. Poppy Burns really trying to burn home and get over the top of Mackenzie Burns. And she looks like she's going to do it, but it is stroke for stroke with 15 to go.
So lanes 3 and 4, and maybe Poppy Stephen just overhauling her competitors late in the piece, and she goes through to win in an excellent time. She's broken a minute.
It was great to see in that A final. 9 of the 10 girls were under the minute, so great to see Poppy Stephen replicating some of those performances in that A final, 59.77. Lucy Dring not too far off that minute barrier as well, 60.42, second in the B final. She really timed that well, did Poppy Stevens. She was 60.64 this morning in the heats and has almost knocked a second off her preliminary from heats to finals, and that's all we can ask for, particularly those athletes that might have been a little bit disappointed to not make the A final, but she's come out here tonight and still delivered a really great performance.
Yeah, that's what the B final is about, making the most of the opportunity.
All right, men's 100 breaststroke coming up next, and Kaylee McEwen in the women's 100 backstroke. So much more to look forward to on night 2 here at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. It's a good vibe here at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. Some people enjoying the hospitality, but more importantly, enjoying some elite swimming. And we move on to another swimmer who's seeking to do a night-to-night double. Bailey Lello, he was really the breakout swimmer of the evening last night, Matt. He beat Zach Stubblety-Cook, an Olympic champion, in the 200 breaststroke, and he's got a chance to add the 100 to it right now.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this swim. Bailey's such a great personality, but backing up with an incredible swim in the 200 last night, getting out hard and holding on. We know how good Zach Stubblety-Cook's second half of the race is, and he did enough to hold him off. Now, fastest qualifier for the 100, 1:00.92 this morning. I think we'll see a couple of swims underneath that minute mark, and Sam Williamson right next to him from Victoria.
Yes,
he'll be tough to beat too.
Well, he's on the way back from that terrible injury, the ruptured patella tendon, which put him out for the most part of last year. He competed in the Victorian Open back in February, but this is his first major national event as he builds towards the trials in June. And Australian swimming certainly missed him, because he has been our leading breaststroker for quite some time now. It's great that Bailey has emerged in his shadow, in his absence.
Yeah, and that'll push Sam. He's a tough competitor, really good, even thoughts and everything. He doesn't dwell on the details. His recovery was really tricky, but he took his time, didn't rush things, and I think he's in a really good space at the moment.
And when I say leading breaststroker, of course, Zach Stubblety-Cook in the 200, but...
Well, as a sprinter, as a 50, absolutely world champion.
50 and 100, certainly Sam Williamson's domain. So an interesting final, this one. Is it the veteran or the up-and-comer, or can someone else rain on their parade?
Take your marks.
A strong field assembled for the men's 100 breaststroke final. And Bailey Lello swimming in fantastic form, coming out of lane 4. The veteran on the comeback trail, Sam Williamson, in lane 5, and Nash Wilkes as well, all the way over in lane 1, who went to the World Championships last year. Of course, Zach Stubblety-Cook there as well in lane 6. If he's up close enough, he'll be finishing strongly, but after 50 metres, it is Williamson leading the way, Gideon Burns in second, and Lello in third, but those three swimmers are pretty much wedged together, and Lello is starting to make a move right now.
Yeah, we expected to see Sam Williamson fast at the 50. He's world champion in the event after all, but Bailey came home and he did so well on the 200. Can he get over the top? It's stroke for stroke coming down.
And Burns,
also Burns in
he's
3.
really strong in this second lap. Burns might have the better of them here. We could be set for a boil over. It's Burns and Lello. It comes down to the touch. Burns has got it.
Wow, 1/100th of a second. 1:00.66 to 1:00.67. Absolutely incredible, coming over the top of Williamson and Stubblety-Cook. Wow, what a swim.
And I can tell you, Gideon Burns has his own support crew here on poolside. They have erupted when they've looked at the big screen and seen that their man has got the touch by the narrowest of margins.
Wow, what a second 50 there from both Bailey and Gideon. Sam Williamson took him out very fast and looked good through the whole swim. Did everything right, but the pacing, the power at the back end from Burns and Lello, 1/100th separating them. Almost feel a tie would have been almost deserving, but getting onto the wall first, absolutely incredible.
So the 20-year-old Gideon Burns from Bond University gets the better of Bailey Lello, a world champion in Sam Williamson, and an Olympic gold medalist in Zach Stubblety-Cook.
And what's really important is this 100 metre, whether it's 100 breaststroke, 100 fly, 100 back. It's so important for the medley relay. We need to have our form strokers in the hundreds especially up there, and now we've got 4 of them pushing each other. This is a really good sign for breaststroke in Australia.
So I'm looking forward to this interview, because I can tell you Gideon's mates are positioned all around this interview zone, so they might give him a bit of a hard time when he's talking to Emily. A big win for one of the newcomers on the scene. All right, over to you, Em.
I'm with him right now. Gideon, what a swim that was. 0.01, nothing closer than that. But that back end was incredible. Is that something that you've been working on?
Yeah, a little bit. We've been working hard back at the pond. So yeah, it's good to see it pay off in the pool. So yeah, I was so close to pulling out of this straight almost because I had a bit of problems with my adductors. So yeah, it was good to. I wasn't expecting much coming into this. So yeah, it was good to come out with the win.
I can't believe you thought about pulling out of that race because that was the race of the night so far. That was incredible to watch. Now, all your friends are right behind me and I've asked them, what's one thing I can ask you? And they say that you absolutely love the gym. What is it about the gym that you love?
Oh, everything. What is there not to love about the gym?
What are you looking forward to most this year?
Putting up some good times for com trials. So this one was just to get a bit of confidence in the bag. So yeah, I think we've done that pretty well for the 100. So yeah.
We're looking forward to watching you race at trials, and that was a fantastic swim. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well done. And his mates behave themselves too. Gideon Burns. He's a bit like you, Matt. Loves the gym. Loves pumping iron.
Who have you been talking to? Well, interesting. He said he's having some trouble with his adductors. Really important for the breaststroke is getting that snap of the kick. And hopefully he can get on top of that and keep that form up. Because it's so important to have that rivalry, that inter-Australian rivalry in the 100-metre swims. How'd you go there, Em?
That was good research from you. Asking his mates.
Well, they were right there. They were right there. So I thought, you know what? No one's going to know him better than his training partners. He would spend the most amount of time with them, and they said he's absolutely loves the gym. He's a gym rat, is what they called him.
You reckon he looks at himself in the mirror, takes selfies? One of those kind of gym rats?
I'm glad he didn't ask him.
I don't know. I probably shouldn't ask that question. That's a bit much.
Super swim. We've got another emerging talent in the breaststroke arena, which only bodes well for our depth, particularly when you think about relays, etc. Look forward to seeing him at trials.
I can't believe he said he was going to pull out.
I know. Well, I was just going to say, even though Sam Williamson didn't win the race, it's great to see him back in the mix.
Take your marks.
So our B final in the 100 breaststroke currently underway. As we've come to learn over the last couple of nights, these B finals can often produce some nail-biting finishes, and this looks like being no different. They're stretched right across the pool, and I reckon a body length and a half separates the entire field.
As they take that first turn, 28.78. Wilson, 28.97. Doing a great job out in front. Now that breaststroke is all about those skills and those technique.
Yeah, the snap of the kick, getting that drive forward in the breaststroke, and we can really see that coming into the throw in the last 15 as they come down to the wall. They've got to push themselves forward, try to time their touch onto the wall. Doing a great job in lane 3.
Another
Felix Wilson.
blanket finish. Wilson gets there. Felix Wilson from Rackley, beating one of the best named swimmers at the meet. That's Felix Dressel de Bruin. And Adam Selwood in third.
And the Rackley crew, as we've spoken about, just coming back from altitude camp where there's less oxygen in the air, so they've been working on their fitness, and that aerobic fitness really helped him in that last 25. Pushed really well towards the wall. It was pretty close at the 75-metre mark, but it wasn't close at the end.
As we have a look at the next event on the program, the women's 100-metre backstroke. This will be a great race. I'm excited to see what Kaylee can produce. 59.36 this morning, the only swimmer under that minute barrier.
It's funny on paper, isn't it, with Kaylee? We sort of think it's a one-horse race and it'll be a race for second, and it may pan out that way. Molly O is an incredible racer and an amazing backstroker as well. But Kaylee will just be racing herself. She won't be thinking about the opposition. She'll be thinking about where she's at, what she can do, and her skills are incredible.
We know that Molly O'Callaghan and Hannah Fredericks there are also swimmers that have personal bests under that minute barrier, so it'll be interesting to see if they can break that tonight. They didn't this morning, but I don't know, why is it different swimming at night? It just, somehow you just suddenly do great times at night time, but you can't do them in the morning.
Well, we saw Molly O in the 100 free last night, and it is something about the night swim. I think it's a skill, and I think it's something that I don't want to say it's taught or it's bred or it's anything, but it's definitely a skill that the best have. When you get yourself up, and you talk a lot about improving from heat to final, when the semi-finals, obviously that extra step in there, but it is the best who can get themselves up for that night final, and there's something in the air, isn't it? The lights, the crowd, the everything.
So we've got the two fastest Australians ever in this event, swimming. Kaylee McKeown has the 18 fastest times ever swum by an Australian in the 100 backstroke, and Molly has got the 19.
And it's interesting to note too, Kaylee has the 50 and the 200 world record. Yeah. The 100 is the only one she doesn't have, and she doesn't have it by 0.03. There's not much in it.
No.
When you talk about world records, being 0.03 off a world record is pretty impressive.
That rivalry between her and Reagan Smith has been one of the highlights of world swimming for many years, but when it comes down to the big moment, the ultimate racer in Kaylee McKeown seems to have the wood on Reagan at the moment.
It's often the way with Kaylee and Reagan that racing head-to-head is one thing, racing individually is completely another. Kaylee seems to really lift for that rivalry.
I don't think we can discount Molly O'Callaghan too after that exceptional 100 free. And I think when we spoke about it yesterday, we say the backstroke is almost less pressure for her too. So we might see something amazing here tonight from Molly too.
Take your marks.
So the legend that is Kaylee McKeown in the pool once again, trying to add to her victory in the 200 from night one.
Great start there from the middle of the pool. Molly O and Kaylee McKeown very even through the starts. Kaylee just starting to edge ahead through the stroke. We know how good they both are on their skills as they come into the wall. There really is very little between them.
So McKeown from O'Callaghan, and Hannah Fredericks is right up there close also.
Turning through in that 28.46, 28.81 for Molly right next to her, and we did know Fredericks out in lane 2 would be very strong in this race. But it looks like Kaylee, 15 metres to go, doesn't look like Molly can catch her from here, and she's really up that stroke rate and very strong into the wall mat.
Oh, when she goes for the power, she puts a gap in the rest of the field, and she goes through for yet another victory. So I think we've got a timing issue. Kaylee won.
Definitely Kaylee won.
About that.
I think when Kaylee's back hit the wall, that's when the time stopped, but we'll have to just clarify those timings because it was definitely Kaylee with that first place.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see what that time was. Molly with that second touch, 58.98. A great swim from Molly. And Fredericks there with that third touch.
So the results pending, as you can see there, top left of screen. There's no doubt that Kaylee put a decisive margin in the rest of the opposition. That problematic touchpad in lane 4, which has caused a few hiccups over the the duration of the meet so far. Oh, there's a bug in the pool. But maybe it's the bug's fault. All right, so we've clarified our victor, and we've clarified the time, 58.06 for Kaylee McEwen. That's a relief, Emily. I thought we'd see.
Absolutely. We knew she touched first. We just didn't know what that time would have been. So 58.06. Great time for her. And almost a second in front of the rest of the field. Molly O'Callaghan with a 58.98, so two exceptional times, world-class times in that 100 metres backstroke and in full training. So fantastic to see. And a fantastic result for both those girls. Fredericks with that third touch, 00.19.
That was a strong swim by Hannah Fredericks. She kept pace with the Olympic champion for certainly the first lap. Was not too far away, but when Kaylee decides to go for home, and nobody can match her power and her poise, and she's with Matt.
Kaylee, an absolute class swim tonight. Just ticked every box, did it so well. When you looked up and saw the time, though, surely you knew that wasn't quite right.
I couldn't even pay attention, to be honest. It's too small for me to see it. So, you know, I was really happy with my processes tonight, and it's really nice being out there with Molly and her and the other girls. It kind of takes the pressure off, and you just kind of feel like you're racing with friends.
I could see you playing around with, was it a moth in the water?
I don't know, some looking bug insect thing.
It's what we get with an outdoor pool. Now, obviously, hard training at the moment. It's still really important to keep those skills down for race, so when you do get rested up and you feel good, you know, is that obviously what you're going for tonight? You still feel good with your skills?
Yeah, I think last night in hindsight I was probably a bit too harsh on myself. Everyone here's in the same boat. We're in hard training and hard work, so just trying to nail the little 1%ers, and hopefully it comes together on the day in a few months' time.
Now, we talk a lot about your swimming, about training, about everything, but what does Kaylee do on a day off? You know, when you're away from the pool, if the coach just says, okay, just have the day off, go and do something that makes you smile, what's that?
Oh, well, when the weather's actually good, probably just being down at the beach and just being with friends, family, taking the dogs out, that kind of stuff, being away from the pool altogether.
Very good. Well, hopefully you're having a bit more fun, in this racing, and training goes well for trials. We look forward to seeing you. What have you got, the 50 coming up?
I'm actually going to try do 200 IM. I'm taking a year off that, so see how that goes tomorrow.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that. Brilliant.
I'm glad you do. I don't.
Nice one, Kaylee. She's the Australian record holder in the 200 IM, I think, off the top of my head.
She has a very great 200 IM, so I don't know why she isn't looking forward to it, because she will smash it. I know her.
There's not much that she doesn't conquer when she sets her mind to it, that young lady.
She seemed a lot happier after that 100 backstroke, so that was really nice to see too, because I think she was quite hard on herself after the 200, like she said. And I think in hindsight, she did a fantastic job in hard training, that 205. So another great swim, that 58.0. Beautiful swim for her. As we have a look now, this is your B final of the women's 100 metres backstroke.
Say Reagan Smith still holds that world record, 3 100ths of a second. I know Kaylee would want that back, no doubt. She's such a competitor. She's so determined.
Well, she has two chances this year with Pam Pax and Tom Games, so you would think at some point this year it's gone.
They're so competitive, those girls, aren't they, in that 100 metres backstroke?
Take your marks.
The lineup for the B final: lane 0, Jess Wilson; lane 1, Ivy Miller; lane 2, Sarah Bennett; lane 3, Elizabeth Gann; lane 4, Zoe Arminston; Lane 5, Ainsley Trotter. Lane 6, Alana Banks. Lane 7, Alexandra Skinner. Lane 8, Annika Van Zogel. And lane 9, Charlotte Hinds.
And a great field out there in this B final, looking very strong. Is Trotter in 5, again in 3. Taking them out is Ainsley Trotter there in that 30.17. But it's a very tight race out there, isn't it, Jake?
Absolutely, Emma. Really strong start from all these girls over that first 50. And keep an eye on the near side to us. Lane 8 is looking really good as well. And that's Annika Van Zogel from Sopak. So 104.37 this morning, but it is the centre lanes coming through. Lane 4 pushing away now, Zoe Munson.
The Nudgee College product goes through to touch the wall in a good time, 101.74.
Yeah, Zoe really swum away from the field there, and she was 102 this morning and the only girl under 103 in this evening, aside from Alexandra Skinner there as well. So 102 from Alexandra Skinner, 102.92 tonight, second to touch the wall, but a convincing last 25 there from a Munson from Nudgee College. Sounds familiar, Em? Backstroker from Nudgee College.
Absolutely, a great program out there. That 101.74, a very good swim. Would have done quite well in that A final just before, so fantastic to see her go out a great time and a faster time than this morning. We always talk about that, being able to improve from heat to final. That is something that those Dolphins work on a lot.
And we're somewhat immune now to how fast being sub 60 is for 100 backstroke. And I think that's Kaylee's fault. She's made looking under that 60 so easy for so long now, but it is such a fast swim to be under that minute barrier for our ladies in the 100 metres backstroke. And she's really dragging so many people along with her here in Australia. And it's really important for her too, as well, as she goes internationally and races some of our superstars of the swimming world. And I'm really excited and back here, guys, to join you for some of our para racing again. And Jake Mickle, superstar of the pool in the SB14 classification. He's a breaststroker, of course, as we look to our 100 breaststroke. And earlier tonight, we did see Joshua Wilmer in the SB8 category. He's 21 years of age from New Zealand. At the Commonwealth Games this year, our men will have the SB900 breaststroke on offer. So Joshua Wilmer, our visitor. Timothy Hodge, our Australian athlete, was third on points this morning, so there's an opportunity for him to swim upper class this year. And Riley Moore as well, he's an SB9 swimmer too. So it's an important year for these boys in the 100-metre breaststroke. Not all Paralympic races will feature at the Commonwealth Games, but this is one that will be on the table. But I look for Jake Mickle. 103 is his personal best, and he's won a couple of silver medals at Paralympic Games, and with LA just a couple of years away, it would be nice to see him stand atop the podium.
And he produced a 106.78 this morning, so that was a great swim, being so close to his personal best time. Now talk us through para swimming, because are they in full training right now, do you think, or have they tapered off for this meet?
Just like our able-bodied counterparts, a lot of our athletes are in a bit of work. Some of our younger athletes might be fully tapered here, but we know this is not the trials for the Pan Pacs this year, which is one of the biggest competitions on the calendar for our para swimmers.
Take your marks.
In the water for our multi-class 100 metres breaststroke men's final, and we look for Jake Mickle. He's won multiple medals at the Paralympic scene in the SB14 category. He was out in 30.86 this morning, and the 200-centimetre tall man mountain is out strong on this first lap. He's already putting a lot of distance on the field, and he's going to be swimming out on his own, so look for that really strong back end as well from Jake. A strong 30.2 out. We know his personal best time is 103 for Jake Mickle here, our experienced 28-year-old from the Carina League CJs. And of course as well, we look for our cross-the-ditch swimmer here, Joshua Wilmer from New Zealand. Second on points this morning, Timothy Hodge in third from Blacktown, our SB8 swimmer. But it's Mickle. He's powering away from start to finish. He's been dominant the whole way here is Mickle. He looks to keep his stroke long, and it's going to be a battle for those minor placings. You could throw a blanket across the field. It looks to be lane 5, Riley Moore at this stage, but Mickle down to touch, a convincing 105.00 with 895 points. A strong swim there from Mickle. Riley Moore, 715 points, and a tight battle in lane 2 and 3 as well. Joshua Wilmer, 1 minute 12.53. Timothy Hodge closely following. Fellow SB8 swimmer there with 1 minute 13.55. A really strong swim from Timothy Hodge, and at this stage, he's going to be second on our point score system. We do have a couple of our athletes in the outside lanes looking to finish here, though. A really strong swim from Ryan McGrain. Doolan and Wilkins still yet to finish, but Jake Mickle, 105.00, almost 2 seconds faster than his heat swim this morning. Nearing that 900-point range from Mickle, and we know that he's won multiple Paralympic medals with LA just around the corner. Can Jake go one better? And this year at the Commonwealth Games too, we do know that our men in the SB9 classification have the 100 breaststroke on offer. So a strong swim there from Jake Mickle tonight. Looking forward to some strong swimming this year. We know this isn't the trial meet for the Pan Pacs in the US this year for our Paralympic lads. And the ladies coming up soon in the women's 100 metres breaststroke multi-class.
He led that from start to finish, didn't he, Jake Mickle? He really dominated every part of that. In 25 metres, he already had a body length on the field and just swam away. And like you say, using that height to great effect. So results on the screen for the multi-class 100 metres breaststroke. And that 895 points for Jake Mickle. And Emily Seabohm has Jake on pool deck.
Jake, what a swim. 895 points. Was that something that you were aiming for tonight?
I actually wasn't expecting what the swim was. This morning it was a bit slower. Had some things to work on tonight and, yeah, executed it really well.
I think you did an amazing job of that one. Now, what are you excited for this year? What do you have coming up?
We've got Pan Pacs. I got a bit of a training block for it. I won't be doing commies. So it'll be exciting to catch up with the boys, the international boys that are racing against, because I only get one chance at it, one chance a year. So, yeah.
Well, we can't wait to cheer you on. That was a fantastic swim tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Well, good to see a big smile after that big swim. And a good haul of points as well in the men's multi-class. We now move to the women's multi-class event as they come out onto pool deck. Fastest qualifier this morning, Kira Stevens. And she really was the standout swimmer. SB9, 23-year-old from Griffith University. She was about 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, but of course all in different categories.
It was a strong swim this morning from Kira, kind of like Jake Mickle there. She was almost 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field this morning, and she was on top of the points. We know our multi-class athletes are compared with the world record in their respective classification, and we know that 1,000 points is a world record. So it'll be exciting to see, like Benny Hance last night in that 50 metres butterfly, crack that 1,000 mark. And of course, the point score is what we use to determine the gold medalist. So fine example in this race is going to be Sarah Hancock. She was 4th on points in the heat, so our 15-year-old from Darwin is an SB6 athlete. She is ranked into this final in lane 9 as our slowest, you could say, in terms of time, but 4th on points, so the 4th most impressive if we were to go overseas and compete internationally in her respective classification. So Jenna Jones as well, our vision-impaired SB12 athlete. She was 6th in Paris. Trains up at the USC Spartans, so she's a 1 minute 22 entry time, 1 minute 26 this morning. So let's hope that Jenna can improve on that. And our SB8 women this year, it is a Commonwealth Games event for our ladies. So Alyssa Gillespie, 17 years of age. Gemma Selick, 15 years of age. Nothing split them this morning, and we may see them later in the year at the Commonwealth Games. Let's see.
Well, Jake had the height advantage in the boys. It looks like Kira's got it in the girls as well.
Take your marks.
Off and racing in the women's 100 metres breaststroke multi-class. And after a very fast heat swim, Kira Stevens, the fastest qualifier, takes them out quickly at the 25-metre mark, driving herself forward and snapping that kick. This is looking good.
A really strong start here from Stevens, and just like Jake Mickle in the men's version of this event, he swam out on his own, and Kira Stevens almost 3 seconds, like you said, Welshie, this morning, faster than the rest of the field. She was out in 36.47, and she's powered away. Making it hard for her is Stephanie Brazzesi there in lane 5, and 35.97, so almost half a second, or exactly half a second faster than her heat swim. So 1:18.33 from Kira Stevens this morning. Trains here on the Gold Coast, and she's pulling away ever so slightly. In lane 7s and 8, let's keep an eye on Alyssa Gillespie and Gemma Selick, our SB8 swimmers, as well, as they battle for those minor placings. It was a really close battle from these two ladies this morning, but in the middle of the pool, it is Kira Stevens. She looks really strong, 15 metres to go. And Brazzesi there in lane 5, as well as Naka Higashi, our Japanese visitor, looking really strong in 3rd. But it's going to be Kira Stevens, a couple of strokes to go, down to touch. It's going to be 1:17.23 from Kira Stevens with 777 points. Our only SB9 athlete in the field tonight. A really strong field there, and Brazzesi in silver with 720 at this stage. But we do need to make sure we keep an eye on these athletes coming down to touch too. Gillespie with a 1:32.95, but Sarah Hancock was really impressive this morning. She was 4th on points, so let's not forget our SB6 swimmer, 617 points. At this stage, though, it is going to be Kira Stevens with the unofficial gold medal, Brazzesi, and Naka Higashi, our Japanese visitor as well, our 24-year-old. And it was Naka Higashi last year. She collected a medal in this event. A really strong swim from start to finish there, Kira Stevens. She was out strong in 35, sub 36 on the way out, so really put everything on the line there on that first 50. Leaving nothing to chance. We saw some of our athletes, Alex Perkins doing similar earlier in the 100 butterfly. But 1:17.23 is a strong swim from Kira Stevens. 777 points, 720 there from Stephanie Brazzesi. And our top 6 classifications, all different classifications, which is really exciting to see in this 100 metres breaststroke multi-class women's final.
She did a great job of that 100-metre breaststroke. She kind of was very close in that first 50 and really extended on that lead in the last 25 metres, just pushed out ever so slightly more in front, that 1:17.23. So a fantastic job to come back from this morning and swim that little bit faster. I'm sure she was pretty excited with that one. As Matt has her on pool deck right now.
I'm down here with Kira, just chatting about that swim. Fantastic swim, and so good to get back into best time you said for 2 years.
Yeah, I'm stoked. After taking last year off during injury, it was so good to come back this year, and I'm enjoying swimming more than ever, and I'm in such a great program, and yeah, I'm just so happy. I love it.
That is so good to hear. Now, you said the injury, back injury. How was the recovery? How did that go?
I'm very lucky. I have such a great support team around me, and even now, just making sure we don't go back where we were and just keep building forward. So yeah, it was tough, but it's been good now.
Well, it obviously worked so well. You said fastest time for 2 years. You're back on track to give you so much more confidence to keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't raced in work in a while, so it's great to get out there and have a hit out under fatigue, and yeah, quite stoked with that.
Well, it is so good to see a big smile, and you're back on track. Well done. What have you got for the rest of the program?
I just have 50 free tomorrow, so nice little sprint.
Nice little sprint. It's still important. Well done for that one. Well, good luck for that one. Well done for tonight.
Thank you so much.
Nice work, Kira. Great to see you back, and great to see you swimming well. Still plenty more action to come here from the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. So much more exciting action coming your way. The men's 100 backstroke coming up very soon. Make sure you stay with us on 9 Now, right around the country. Gold Coast is aglow for night 2 action here at the 2026 Australian Open. There's still a lot more heavy artillery to come your way. We've got the men's 100 backstroke about to be swum.
Which really could be anyone's race. I think this morning we didn't really see anyone who was going to be clearly in front for tonight.
No, it was pretty conservative this morning. Fastest qualifier, Mark Nikolaev from Somerset, a 54.62, which isn't the fastest swim. It's definitely off that Australian record of Mitch Larkin's 52.1, about 2.5 seconds off, in fact. So you can see how conservative it was. And the rest of the field in the 55s and 56s, which is not blistering. We saw the 100 breaststroke earlier tonight, and all of them really pushing hard, getting to that 1 minute mark, and getting under 1 minute is quite an achievement. So they're all pushing. We really need to get a swimmer down at least to the 53s to make sure we've got a competitive 4x100 medley relay team for Australia. So title holder Enoch Robb, he swims out of lane 3.
And Nikolaev trying to back up his 50 victory over Isaac Cooper last night.
Yeah, he looked good in that swim, very good. And he was out quick this morning, but the 100 is a different game. And that slightly different energy system in coming back in that second lap. Will we see Bradley Woodward with his skill over the 200? Will we see him come back? He'll be swimming out of lane 5.
It was only 25 years ago when Matt Welsh was the world champion in this event.
Is it only 25? It feels like, it feels like 25 years ago. You're right.
Take your marks.
So the newcomer in grade 4, Mark Nikolaev, swims from lane 4. The established Australian stars Woodward and Swinburne in 5 and 6 respectively. The reigning national champ Enoch Robb in lane 3, and Killarney Island maybe one of the up-and-comers in lane 2. But already Nikolaev, along with Enoch Robb, look to be leading. Ireland's also up there with the main pace setters. It's Robb turning ahead of Ireland and Nikolaev.
Well, they've turned in the 26 point, which is a good start, but we really need to see some speed. I expected to see Nikolaev really push himself away. He's getting a little bit lost in the lanes there in lane 4. He's moved right over next to Rob Enoch and trying to keep straight. With 5 minutes to go, I think it will be Nikolaev, but he hasn't done it easily.
He goes in to do the double, the 50-100. Enoch Robb got second. Woodward finished in 3rd position. So 54.69 the winning time.
So it's always tough swimming outdoors. Sometimes it's the sun, and tonight it'll be absolutely nothing. They'll be looking up to the dark sky here on the Gold Coast and getting nothing to help them with their positioning in the pool. So tough conditions for our backstrokers. But a good win there from Mark Nikolaev in the middle. Taking out the double, the 50-100, as the results are official. 54.69, marginally slower than this morning. Enoch Robb in 2nd. Woodward home for 3rd. So Mark Nikolaev really felt on that back end, he wanted to push it and just got a bit lost in the lane. You can see him moving around. He moved over to his left, got stuck on the lane rope.
And he recently moved to represent Australia, Mark Nikolaev, and he's certainly making an impression. 2 victories in 2 nights. So let's head to our winner with Emily, poolside.
You won the 50, you won the 100. Was that what you were expecting from this meet?
I mean, I guess everyone who's competing here is expecting to get something. Yeah.
Well, it was a fantastic swim. What are you looking forward to this year?
Towards, sorry?
What meets are you looking forward to this year?
hopefully competing well at trials in June, and then the qualifications for the World Championships later in the year.
Well, you look like you're on track for some pretty great swims. Your sprinting looks on form. Is that something that you work really hard on?
Yes, yeah. Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome. That was a great swim tonight, and we can't wait to watch you at trials.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they definitely don't train to go slow. That the sprint 50 took out last night, put him in great stead for the 100 tonight. Like I said, I expected him out a little bit quicker. The speed he had in the 50 last night, I expected him to push it. Maybe he was just holding back to make sure he could come back in that second 50. But a big learning curve for that 100 for Nikolaev. And as I said, so important. We need a 100 backstroker for the medley relay. We've got a great butterfly, a breaststroke, freestyle. And we need that final leg.
It's been that little missing link for a little while now.
We seem to always have one sort of missing link, I think, in
sometimes
that 4x100 medley relay.
It was the butterfly for a while.
It was.
Yeah.
And then it turned into the breaststroke for a while.
Yep.
And now it's the backstroke's turn.
Freestyle's fairly consistent. The need for the relay, the drive to try and get that top four for the relay pretty much means you're always going to have that freestyler. But yeah, we've been fairly inconsistent with our form strokes. When we have had them, we've been dominant, winning the World Championships 98, 2001, 2007. So we know we can produce them. We just need to produce them at all the same time, like you said, Em. So B final now of the men's 100 metres backstroke.
Let's see what sort of a time these B finalists can register. We've had a non-starter in lane 8, Callan Fenwick-Kearns, not appearing. So a fairly even dispatch in the centre of the pool, and even Nicholas Nankervis over in lane 9, right up there.
Looking strong out there for right now. Dell taking them through in that 26.93 in front of Lambert. Lane number 3, that 27.26. As we come down to the last 25 metres, this is whatever you've got left in the tank. Sometimes this is the most painful part of this race.
Oh, this is definitely the most painful part, isn't it, Em? Coming down now, a real battle between 3 and 4.
And
we talked about going stroke to stroke.
Lane too, but they are going stroke to stroke in the centre. And then Curvis might have just dropped off, but this is a thrilling finish, and it goes to Ryder Lambert. He beat Zach Dell and Lucas Homeniuk.
Yeah, that was a tough battle there. Fantastic finish from Lambert. A 56.10, so a nice progression from this morning swim, almost a second off his morning swim. And we didn't see that in the A final. The A final didn't drop at much time at all. Some of the swimmers, in fact, not matching their time. So a great job there in the B final, progressing those times. And really battling it out with Zachary Dell from New Zealand. Did a great job in managing the energy over that first 50 to make sure he had enough, as you say, him in that painful last 25. The legs are burning, the lungs are burning.
Absolutely, did a great job of that. Lambert taking out that B final. As we have a look at the next event on the program, the Women's 50 Freestyle.
Yes, have a look at the calibre of swimmer lining up here.
Now, they had, this morning they raced with performance-enhancing puppies. Will they have anything tonight?
It's past their bedtime, Matt. It's nearly 8 o'clock. The puppies are well and truly tucked up.
Yes, they've had their dinner and they're tucked up in their little box. But Shayna Jack swam so well this morning, fastest qualifier. 24.67, and their Commonwealth record and Australian and all Commonwealth record 23.78 from Kate Campbell. You can see it on your screen there. The girls love the 50 free. It's A tough race, though, because everyone swims it. It's tough competing, and the smallest error can yield massive losses on the wall.
So it's under a second for the entire field on qualification time. So on that basis, it should be a blanket finish. So Shayna from lane 4.
Very nice.
The custodian of the puppies. Brought them out on pool deck earlier today. Anna Casey there, 19 years of age from Bond. Even Abby Webb over in lane 0's been around a long time, seasoned campaigner. And Alex Perkins is backing up after her victory in the butterfly earlier.
And you've also got O'Callaghan out there in 7, so it is a stacked field, and it really could be anyone that takes this one away.
Take your marks.
50 freestyle final for women. A great start from Olivia Wunsch. She's got the distinctive orange cap on, swimming beside Shayna Jack, who's also up there on the speed. And Molly O'Callaghan right in the firing line too. This is going to be a very tight finish. It might be Shayna who's getting the better of them. She goes through to win in 24.6. Olivia Wunsch second, Molly gets third, then Alex Perkins in 4th.
What a swim that was for Shayna. There were no puppies out there tonight, but she didn't need them at all. She did it all herself, 24.60. In front of Wunsch there, 24.84. O'Callaghan, 24.89. Great times from those ladies, and a very tough final.
So as we predicted, nothing at all separating the entirety of the field. Just 1 second difference between the winner Shayna Jack and Abby Webb, who finished in 10th position. Really strong. The final 10 metres by Shayna. Attack the wall. We've got a minor catastrophe in the pool, Emily. We've got bugs that have invaded the competition pool, and the girls aren't all that pleased.
No, no one likes bugs in the pool. You don't want to accidentally swallow in a bug when you take a breath.
No. Well, I can tell you that Alex Perkins was the bravest, because she scooped up the bugs and she's given them, she's hoiked them onto the pool deck, although I can see a few more of them swimming in now, so they're enjoying the water. You're up on the Gold Coast. What else would you do? But go for a dip.
And doesn't that water look so inviting too?
All right, we've had bugs, we had comfort puppies earlier, now we've got Shayna Jack.
I am down here with Shayna. Where are the dogs, Shayna?
Oh, look, they're having a much-needed rest. There's been so much cuddling today, so I did have a good pat and cuddle before I came out for the 50, and really happy with that.
It was a good swim. We saw you with them before the heat, and it was a great swim then. Tonight, what got you over the line tonight?
Look, it was actually, there was a grasshopper in my lane before I dove in, which kind of distracted me a little bit, but I really just wanted to get my hand on the wall and execute the race well, which I was proud of, so happy with that.
It's like a zoo out there. Now, the 100-metre you had last night, now I heard a little story about what you've organised with the top 8 swimmers. Can you tell everyone about what you're doing to try and get the culture and the camaraderie up in the 100-metre freestyle?
Yeah, so we've always had such depth in our freestyle women's, whether with the 100 or the 200, and so myself and Meg Harris really wanted to get that fire in our bellies going through to LA and then Brisbane 32. And so we put together a mock-up relay for tomorrow, and hopefully you guys can come out and watch us. Our beautiful Miss Reinhardt is here to watch us tonight, which we're so grateful for, so thank you so much.
So you're going to split you guys up, you're going to have the odds and evens against each other?
It is split up tactically. We're actually trying to make it as even as possible to get that fire in our bellies to race each other, but also come together as a team respectively and hopefully deliver a really exciting event.
Fantastic. We can't wait to see that, and it's always a pleasure to see you swim. Well done tonight.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
The glowing smile of Shayna Jack, and great to see her back in the winner's circle in the 50 freestyle. Well, it'd be interesting, that relay. It's a great initiative, and it says a lot about the way Shayna and Meg have really stepped up to be those eldest stage people as far as the relay ranks go.
I think it just goes to show that they want to create this beautiful culture on such a powerful team. That 4x1 freestyle relay has had so much amazing history, and they just want to continue that, but also celebrate the fact that they get to be on this team and they get to enjoy moments like this. I think Kyle mentioned it earlier, where it's just that moment to just take everything in. You don't get those opportunities because sometimes you're always competing with these people, but to enjoy the moments with them is fantastic.
It's so important to have that camaraderie in the team. What we used to do, and I'm sure they still do, is we would wake up as the team on the day and we'd have breakfast together. We would do everything together. We'd make sure we were together all day, so it wasn't just a matter of getting together at the last 5 minutes and chucking it together. We cared about each other. We knew what we'd been through. We warmed up together. It really was a strong team.
Is that something other countries adopt, or is it something that just comes naturally to us as Australians, that we try to support one another?
Not sure, but it was a good little tactic that we always use for our medley relays.
Yeah. So the B final in the 50 freestyle. Swimmers in the pool. Should be another thrilling finish.
So strong start there from the whole field. Very little between all of them. Lane 3 looking good.
It's Mackenzie Burns over there. Jamie DeLutis also swimming home strongly in lane 2. It might be between those two swimmers. And they hit the wall, and DeLutis gets there. Burns in second position. And our Cuban visitor, Vikali Marti, has finished third.
Yeah, strong swim there from DeLutis. Did look like Burns had it with about 10 metres to go, but Burns really burnt up the last 5 metres to get over the top. Not a lot in it at the end of the day, but that's all you need in a 50 metres freestyle. The results there for the B final. DeLutis takes out the win in front of Burns and Marty Bakali. So the backstroke flags go in because we have the men's 200 metres individual medley, 50 metres of each stroke, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke and freestyle.
And we'll be back with that right after this on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Great to have your company here from the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre, where the net has come out to try and get rid of these bugs that are infiltrating the pool. You don't often see the net come out in the competition pool. How many bugs have we got in there?
They're crickets, and I do remember last year. Get them out of here. Yeah. I do remember a couple of years ago we had the big moths. The Bogong moths.
Yes.
They were massive and flying all over the place, obviously attracted by the lights here at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. So we don't have that this time, but we do have a plague of crickets going through, but maybe the apocalypse is coming sooner than we thought.
It's a funny world at the moment, Matt, but we'll leave that right there. So, men's 200 IM final. Some talent in this. So David Schlick, one of our world champ reps in this event in Singapore last year. We know Brendan Smith is an Olympic bronze medalist in the 400 IM. Seabom Lee looked strong earlier today.
He did look very strong. But I'm excited to see Patrick. I feel like he's been on fire this meet, and I feel like the IMs are his specialty. He really dominates throughout that breaststroke in the IMs, and we know, Welshie, that breaststroke leg is just so important. But Clarebert's back out again tonight. He's had a massive program and a great 200 freestyle.
Yeah, looking across the field, the class of breaststroke there. David Schlick, very strong in the breaststroke, as you said. Seabom Lee, Will Patrick from last night. So all 4 strokes, as I said before, the butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke and freestyle. A bit more of a sprint than the 400 though. So they've got to really go out after it.
Take your marks.
It's a very strong field for the 200 IM final for men. Lewis Clareburt, who swum this event for New Zealand at World Champs and Olympics. Will Patrick and David Schlick, Australia's world champ reps from Singapore last year. Seabom Lee, a regular on Dolphins teams. And we know Brendan Smith has great pedigree, especially in the 400 IM.
Clareburt and Patrick looking to have the best of the butterfly at the moment. And it will be Clareburt touching 25.84, just marginally ahead of Patrick leading into the backstroke. This is where we expect to see the start of the moves. They've just got to get through that butterfly as quickly as possible and then settle into the backstroke. Looking good there, Seabom Lee in lane 5, really starting to push ahead of Patrick and Clareburt. And coming now into the breaststroke leg.
Looks to be back near his best, Seabom Lee. He leads through after 100 metres. Clareburt in second spot, Brendan Smith third, and Will Patrick in fourth. But they are locked together in a pretty congested race up front.
Well, this is where Will Patrick's breaststroke is coming into play. He got that turn, that almost awkward backstroke to breaststroke turn, and pushed off with a fantastic split stroke. Clareburt and Patrick now taking over the lead from Seabom Lee, and this is important going into the freestyle. Nothing between them. In fact, 1/100th of a second between them. Now it's going to be a sprint of 3. Who can get to the wall? Will Patrick looked like he had a good turn, and he's looking strong in this final 50.
So Patrick and Clareburt fighting it out at the moment. Seabom Lee there, but Clareburt, he is swimming in career best form. The New Zealander pulling away from them. It's another win for Lewis Clareburt. He beats William Patrick, and Seabom Lee has finished in third position. Brendan Smith in fourth.
Wow, what a final 25. Will Patrick looked fantastic off the wall. He pushed off. He had probably a foot or two gap on both Seabom and Clareburt. But then something, that kick came in for Lewis Clareburt and just came over the top. Fantastic swim there from our New Zealand visitor.
And instead of a gold medal, he gets a native Gold Coast cricket.
Oh, he can have as many as he likes.
What a night he is having so far. He almost looks surprised with that result, but he seems like he's in quite good form here at this meet. Seabom Lee had an exceptional backstroke leg. He really tried to make as much distance as he could leading into that breaststroke. Where Patrick looked amazing, but then Clareburt in that last 50 just had more in the tank, and it looked like he just could have kept going.
With 45 metres to go, I would have put, I'm not a betting man, but I would have put a lot of money on Will Patrick. He looked like he had the best turn. He had momentum on his side, but boy, that's why we watch sport. It's unpredictable. And Clareburt really showed how to come home like an absolute train in the 200 IM. So A final, swum and won. As we now move into the B final for the 200 individual medley. And another chance to see that back and forth, that to and fro that we often see in the strengths and weaknesses in all 4 strokes from our competitors.
We saw the lead change 3 times in that 200 AM. So that just goes to show where these athletes' strengths lies in this 200 AM.
And it was marginal too, wasn't it? It was only 0.1 here, 0.2 there, but that's what the difference it makes.
Absolutely.
Take your marks.
The 200 IMB final. Elsom Lee, lane 0. Markovic, lane 1. Kersedam, lane 2. Martin, lane 3. Sharp, lane 4. Tay, lane 5. Vito, lane 6. Smith, lane 7. Eve, lane 8. And Craig Ting in lane 9.
Nice outside swim there from Creeting in lane 9. Right down the bottom of your screen, he's still underwater for his backstroke, going almost 15 metres, a good 12 metres at least off the wall. So we can see where his strengths lie in that butterfly and backstroke. As they're coming down now, the middle of the pool starting to come back at him, with Martin Sharp and Zachary Tay from Warringah in that bright pink cap taking over the lead, and they'll be touching very close.
So Tay was the leader. Martin in second position, Sharp in third, as Matt says, and they're less than a second between the first 3. It's another great race in our B final. It's almost mirroring that of the A final only a few moments back.
Yeah, Zachary Tay from Warringah, that bright pink cap in the middle of your screen now, looking very strong in this breaststroke. He and Sharp are looking sharp in this 3rd lap. Just starting to gap Martin a little bit. Also looking good is Smith and Eve in 7 and 8. But it will be Zachary Tay who gets that advantage of going from the slower stroke to the fastest in the breaststroke to freestyle. Keeping the length in the stroke. They haven't got a lot left to give, but Sharp's trying to make a bit of a go of it. It's going to come down to the wire. I think Sharp's got enough to come over the top.
He's absolutely motoring in the freestyle swim home. And have a look next to Sharp. It's Kane Martin, who's also lengthening his stroke. But Sharp is going to go to the wall and get there. Zachary Tay second, Kane Martin third, and another thriller in the 200 IMB final.
I could really see how much that breaststroke took out of Tay there in lane 5. He looked so strong in that swim, but as soon as he got to the freestyle, he looked good, but he didn't look quite as sharp as Will. And he did come over the top. So another thrilling race in the B final for the 200 metres individual medley. One of my favourite races on the program, as the results are final.
And as Kaylee revealed to us earlier, she'll be swimming the 200 IM for women tomorrow.
That I'm very much looking forward to that. She said she wasn't, but I know she's going to put on an amazing show for everyone. So make sure you join us for that tomorrow night. Coverage starting from 6 p.m. on 9 Now. So next swim on the program, the women's 200 metres breaststroke.
This race I'm really excited to see. Obviously we saw Sienna Tui win the 100 last night. The 17-year-old was able to take it to those older athletes, but Tara Kinder looked very strong this morning, so she's definitely the one to beat. Matilda Smith was good too.
Sorry, the exciting part about Sienna is that she's only recently started to focus on this 200, and we actually saw her put in a dashing last 50 this morning. She got really close in the end. She gave away a big start, but came steaming home.
She also did that in the 100 last night too. She came home very strong, which is very hard to do, isn't it, Welshie, in that breaststroke? It's very hard to change that speed.
Yeah, the outright speed that you need in the 50 and the 100, you often don't get in the 200, so we see them starting off a little bit slower and just biding their time and then coming home hard. But Tara Kinder, fastest qualifier in the middle of the pool from Melbourne Vic Centre. She's a seasoned campaigner. She knows what she's doing. She has a lot of fun out there. She'll be looking to defend her title that she took out last year. She went 224.7 last year. So let's see how fast they can go tonight. She's got a bit more competition this year. Ella Ramsey, Sienna Tui will be swimming just to her left.
Take your marks. Well, this is a cracking race coming your way, the 200-metre breaststroke final. There's no Hayley McIntyre in lane 6.
No, she was left on the block. Whether she didn't hear the start. There was a couple of them missed the start. They were a bit slow off there, so whether there was an issue with the speak up on that side. But the rest of the field is off, and taking them through is Ella Ramsey there in lane 3, 32.66. So we don't often see that in the start, but Tara Kinder second through at the 50. Sienna Tui back in 7th, so we knew she was going to start a little bit slower and then bring it back, so we'll keep an eye on her and how she moves her way through the field. But it is Ella Ramsey and Tara Kinder out in front. At the halfway mark, it's going to be very tight between the two of them. So at the moment, bit of a two-horse race.
Although Matilda Smith is starting to pull through, she's about a body length behind. And Sienna Tui is leaving herself a big job to swim back into this one. So Kinder taking over, Ramsey in 2nd, Smith in 3rd spot.
Fantastic second 50 there from Tara Kinder. Getting herself back into contention and stretching out now, in that 3rd 50. She looks fantastic.
She looks beautiful and strong in her stroke. Sienna Tui in that 5th position. We'll see how much she can change. You can see her starting to make her move. But Tara Kinder looks too strong to take over that lead. She's leading them through in that 150. She's got 50 metres to go, and she's extended that lead beautifully long on that wall. Ella Ramsey sitting in that 2nd position. Smith and Tui there touching in that 4th. As we come down to the last 35 metres of the race, Kinder looks very strong out there.
She swam brilliantly in the heat this morning, and she has parlayed that form into the final tonight. So around 25 metres to swim. It is Tara Kinder, well clear. And she's really bossing this final. Look at Sienna Tui, absolutely storming home. She was miles off them with 50 metres to swim, and Sienna's finished in 2nd position with a breathtaking final 50. Ella Ramsey finishes 3rd and Matilda Smith in 4th.
What a swim that was. Tara Kinder, 2:24.19. Great swim for her. Sienna Tui in that 2nd position. She turned through at the 100 in the 5th spot and was able to come back so strong. It'd be interesting to see if Sienna Tui started a little bit earlier with that back end, if she could come home even stronger.
I'm not sure whether she was a victim of, if there was some sort of issue at the start. We saw Hayley McIntyre miss the start completely. But there's no doubt about our winner, our Australian Open champion, Tara Kinder, in the 200 breaststroke.
Yes, sensational breaststroke swim for her. Big night of racing last night. So we're just waiting for those results to become official, but that 2:24.19, a great swim for her. This morning she was at 2:26.11, so fantastic to come back stronger tonight and faster than what she won this event in last year. So great for her to have that. We're just having a look at that start. You can see McKinder there missing that start. I don't know if there was a sound issue or what. I've never seen that before, to be honest.
Just totally missed it.
There's a massive cricket down there for Matt Welsh. Oh, a moth, is it?
Oh.
As those girls are exiting the pool now, Tara Kinder was just too strong. She left the entire way, and no one was able to stop her. It did look like it hurt her a bit there.
So a win for Tara Kinder ahead of a surging Sienna Tui and Ella Ramsey in third position. That's first, second and third in the women's 200 breaststroke.
Sienna Tui, one to watch though, 17 years old.
Absolutely.
One to watch in that breaststroke.
Just devastating speed. She's got home in 36.21 for the last 50 metres. Our winner, Tara, is alongside Matt poolside.
I am down here with Tara Kinder. Great swim in the 200, especially bouncing back or backing up at least after the 100 and the 400 IM last night.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the second you dive in for a two breast like that, my legs could still feel the 4 IM in them from last night, but it's always going to hurt no matter hard or however slow or fast you go. So.
Well, you went out really well tonight and then held on, but I was so impressed, speaking of the 400 IM last night, your second 200 was incredible. The 100 breaststroke and the 100 freestyle, you absolutely mowed them down. It was brilliant to see. Obviously doing a lot of work in training to work on that back end.
Yeah, as much as I've been putting in a lot of effort to work on my backstroke, just trying to make that a little bit easier, going faster, so I have a bit more in the back end, which I know is always my strength. So. Fun.
Well, I won't be able to help you with the breaststroke, but the backstroke I could definitely help you with. But awesome work tonight. What have you got left?
We've got 2 free and 2 med tomorrow, which will be a fun double.
A very fun double. Well, awesome work. Well done, and good luck for them.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, guys.
Always got that infectious smile. Tara Kinder with a big win in the 200 breaststroke, and she's got a very stacked program. She's been very busy these first 2 days, and that will continue again tomorrow.
As we have a look now, this is your B final, the women's 200 metres breaststroke. Exciting things coming for Tara Kinder. She took a massive time out away from the pool and has just come back so strong. And it's been fantastic to watch her progress. She's only 22 years of age. It's hard to believe.
Well, she was actually, I think what you're touching on, she was considering giving the sport away.
She was.
She was swimming so poorly around time of the Tokyo Games.
That's right, yeah. She took a massive break and then sort of just was like, no, I want to go back to it. And thank God she did, because she has really pushed her breaststroke and her individual medley so far. And it's been fantastic to watch her perform at that high level.
All right, Jake is back with us now for this B final of the 200 breaststroke, and we've got some more multi-class action coming up straight on the back of that.
It's great to be back, guys, and a really strong finish there was Sienna too. I'm not sure if she missed the start. I'd love to see that. An interesting result. Lane 6, of course, Mackinder missing it.
Yes, we'll have to investigate that following tonight's program.
Take your marks.
And the way Sienna Tui finished, if she started a bit better, she would have been right in the mix there for victory. So here's our B final in the 200 breaststroke. Charlene Hansen, lane 0. Ava Rollison, lane 1. Madison Steib, lane 2. Alana Torrance, lane 3. And then Isabella van der Merwe, lane 4. Lexi Harrison, lane 5. Bianca Fuller, lane 6. Caitlin Ribbons, lane 7. Valentina Costa in lane 9. And Amelia Downey in lane 9.
Charlotte Hansen taking it out really strong in lane 0. A really nice first 50. She won't be first on the wall, though. Some strong last 10 metres there from some of those athletes in the middle lanes to pull her back in. And 34.82 from van der Merwe touching through in that first 50, 34.
Looks like Harrison and Fuller there in 5 and 6 really pushing out to that lead marker. We saw that 200 breaststroke before. There were so many changes. Sienna Tui was able to come from so far behind and extend to that second position. So we'll see what these girls can do in this final 100 metres as they come down to that first 100-metre turn right now.
Pretty much locked together. Lexi Harrison and Isabella van der Merwe and Bianca Fuller only marginally behind them.
Just 1/100th of a second there between those two leaders at the halfway mark, and this is where we look to make some ground. And it looks at this stage is lane 5 swimming really well. Lexi Harrison, she made a bit of a move on that second lap, but don't forget about lane 0 over there. She did start really strong on the first 25 off the block, Charlotte Hansen, and she's making a little move on this third lap as well.
Looks like Harrison holding on to that lead ever so slightly. Nice and smooth stroke as she heads into that last turn 1:53.03.
We've had some thrilling finishes tonight. We might be about to see another one. Lexi Harrison leading, and now Bianca Fuller is starting to rattle home as well.
It was a great turn in lane 5, that final turn from Lexi Harrison, and she pulls away. Lane 6, though, making up a bit of ground, and lane 4 as well. Van der Merwe making a late push.
So maybe Lexi's getting a little tired. Van der Merwe with a second win. Fuller looked like contending, but has dropped off. But Lexi Harrison is going to have enough in the tank when she goes through to win our B final.
A 2:32.47 for Lexi Harrison to take out that B final. A great swim from her this morning. She sat at that 2:35.73, so a great job to come back and improve on this morning's results. She seems pretty happy with that, Jake.
Yeah, it's nice to take a win in anything, especially at a national championship. It is the B final, but it doesn't matter for these girls. Once they're out here, it's a chance to race, and taking the win in that B final, Lexi Harrison did a fantastic job. Nice to see some really good skills off the turns and in that swimming portion. A couple of things to work on as she moves forward, and we know that the trials is not too far away for a lot of these athletes, and that's what they're eyeing off in the near future. But Lexi Harrison taking the win by just over a second in the B final. Van der Merwe second, Fuller third, and it was a really nice swim from Charlotte Hansen in the outside lane as well, taking fourth. She was ninth fastest of these B finalists in the heats this morning, and fourth tonight. It was Tara Kinder. She was dominant in that event.
She definitely was. As we have a look at the next event on the program, Jake, talk us through the men's 100-metre multi-class butterfly final right now. They're coming out.
And it's great to go over our multi-class point score system again. Our athletes are compared with the world record in their respective classification, and 1,000 points is the benchmark. That is the world record. So if an athlete is to score 1,000 points, we need to get excited. And something to also keep in mind is we do have an array of classifications competing in every event. So it's important to not just look at the fastest times, it's also important to keep an eye on the point score. Our gold medalists will be determined from the point score. And when we look to the Para Pan Packs in August in the US, looking at the spreadsheet or the big Excel of all the qualifying times for our athletes, it is quite confusing if you don't know what you're looking at, because we have an array of athletes, an array of events, an array of classifications, and we have our men and women too. So each classification, each event will have a qualifying time respective to, typically it's top 3 to 5 in the world from the previous year. And so these athletes making this final tonight, that's why we like the multi-class, because it is providing a great level of competition and opportunity for these athletes to race at a high level on the national stage. This morning it was Nicholas Leighton. He was dominant. He was 2 seconds clear of the field at the halfway mark, 56.76. And second on points was Bud. Third, Timothy Hodge, our S9 in lane 7.
Nice to see some of those young ones in there too. Matthew's only 16 years of age.
Take your marks.
And it's Nicholas Leighton. He was dominant this morning from lane 4, and 56.76 this morning it was for Nicholas Leighton. So he was exceptional over that first 50, and he looks to do the same tonight. Declan Budd in lane 5, our S14 athlete, second on points this morning, and S9, Timothy Hodge from lane 7. So a really strong start again from Nicholas Leighton, but making him work for it is Declan Budd.
They turned through in that 25.94. Leighton just in front of Bud, 26.62. Just like you said, Jake, this is the battle. Look at Leighton and Bud right now, battling it out almost neck and neck with each other.
And Cole Pearce putting in a great performance. He was a little bit off his personal best this morning, but the veterans, he's saving it for tonight. But look at lane 5. Declan Budd really putting it here to Nicholas Leighton. And down to touch, it's going to be a fight for that gold medal in terms of our time. But it will be Leighton, 56.42. Declan Budd, 56.56. And Cole Pearce, 58.09. Timothy Hodge as well, 101.29. So a really hot contest there for that gold medal on points. But it's going to be Declan Budd, 879 points, taking the win. He really swam well on those first final strokes, my apologies. And Cole Pearce too, 58.09. So a strong swim there from the boys. Timothy Hodge rounding out the gold, silver and bronze. So it's going to be Budd, Leighton and Hodge. Strong performances there from our multi-class athletes. Declan Budd, though, flashing home. It was a great last 10 metres there from Budd. So 56.56, 56.42. So not just a battle for the point scores there from Budd and Leighton, but as well as the time, which is fantastic to see. Timothy Hodge, 1:01.29 with the bronze medal, and Cole Pearce just 2 points away in 4th position. So a really tight battle there from our multi-class athletes in the final of the men's 100 metres butterfly. So those top 4 boys looking really good there in that final. This morning, Leighton was dominant in that event, but Budd really pushed him tonight. In the heats, they were the only 2 athletes on 800 points, so it was great to see 4 athletes cracking that 800-point barrier in the sevens final.
It's funny, isn't it, the point score? We put a lot of, obviously, attention on that point score. We look at it, that's how we rank them, but they're all about times. They're just basing it off their personal best times. The point score is really just to separate that multi-class. But, you know, it's a great indication and how strong that is that, you know, everyone above that sort of 600-metre mark, 600-point mark. Incredible.
Yeah, 100% Welshie. It was a great battle there, and we throw it down to pool deck. A great swim there from Declan Budd.
I've got Declan here with me. We've watched you at the age championships, and you were fantastic. But you were phenomenal tonight in that race. How was that for you?
Yeah, thank you. Overall pretty good, faster than this morning. And I just followed through and did my race plan, and yeah.
Were you expecting to take that win tonight over some of those experienced open athletes?
Oh no, I just kind of just did it.
Well, I love that spirit that you have. We loved you at the age championships. Was your age championships or your open your focus this year?
To be honest, both of them are just training for me. You know, just practicing up to trials, you know, fixing the 1%ers and just getting faster.
We can't wait to see you change the world of paraswimming. You're fantastic and we love watching you.
Thank you.
A great swim there from Declan Budd, and he said it honestly, at the moment for him and many of our para-athletes, this is all training for them as they look towards the Commonwealth Games for some of these athletes this year, as well as the Para-Pan Packs. So, like our able-bodied counterparts, there are a couple of big events on the cards this year, and looking to the B final, some familiar names. We have Will Martin in the B final, gold medalist at the Tokyo Paralympics in the S9 classification. He is an S10 athlete now. From time to time, our athletes move around classifications. It can be a bit of a nerve-wracking thing going into that classification.
And they have to be judged off that, do they? Is it based on a competition, or they actually have to, you know, go through a process with a judge, with an assessor?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of testing. An assessor would be a great way to put it. And for some of the classifications too, they get watched in racing, how they sort of move around the pool deck and how their bodies work, you could say.
Take your marks.
It's the B final of the men's multi-class 100 butterfly, and some familiar names in this event. William Martin, our S10 athlete, 25 years of age, swimming out of lane 3, and this morning it was Alexander Hajaj, the only man in the preliminaries to clock and crack the minute. He was 58.96 this morning, and a great start again from Alexander in lane 4.
Yeah, what a blistering start. Takes them down at the 50-metre mark, turns into 27.29, and really showing how it's done.
Really excited to see how Alexander comes home here, our S9 swimmer. He looks really strong through that third 25, and this is where we've talked about putting in the last 25 metres of work. When the legs start to hurt, the shoulders are burning, you want to limit your breathing a little bit, but get those hands on the wall, and he's looking to swim away again, Hajaj.
Well, he's breathed every single stroke on the way back, but it is work to perfection as he touches the wall at a 58.68, 513 points. Gould onto the wall in a 101.36. We wait to see the classifications of the times, and it does look like Gould with a 688 has the top point score. So second to the wall, but highest point score in the S14 category.
A lot of similar classifications there as well, Welshie. Our S14s, S10s, S9s, so some of our higher classifications. And in general, great to see them racing, regardless of that point score, especially in a B final. We just want to get out there and race. You could have thrown a blanket across some of those athletes in that B final.
Yeah, you can see there, Blocky and Gould, both S14 swimmers, and similar time, similar point score.
Declan Budd, though, exceptional in that A final. He really made Leighton work, and for those two, it was a fantastic race to the wall.
Do you know what I loved about Declan Budd? I asked him how he felt, you know, racing at that open level, and he just doesn't overthink it. He's like, it's just another race, you know. That's what I love about the youngsters. They don't overthink it. I think as you get to those older athletes, they really tend to overthink.
Yeah, look, the process is important, and, you know, the training's important, the pacing's important, all of these things are important, but at the end of the day, you've just got to get out and go. You've just got to love what you do, you've got to go fast, you've got to trust yourself, and that'll yield the best results. As we look now towards the female 100 metres butterfly for multi-class, and similar names, Kale Thompson, Jasmine Greenwood, in the middle of the field, lanes 4 and 5 respectively.
Yeah, great swim from Kale and Jazz. A lot of points between these two ladies this morning, and they were quite a way ahead of the field. So 30.9 on the way out for Jasmine this morning in a different classification. Kale Thompson, 31.12. She was in fact fastest in terms of our point score system this morning. Emily Beecroft, though, is an S9 athlete, and we know how experienced Emily is, not only domestically but on the international stage. So keep an eye out for Emily.
So she's in lane 2. We saw Thompson lane 4 on screen. So just the A final in this multi-class 100 metres butterfly.
Take your marks.
In the water, everyone off the block nicely as they come up and race. Great start there, lane 5 from Jasmine Greenwood. She probably had the best of the starts, but now coming through is Cal Thompson. She had a great swim this morning, about 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, so expect her to touch the wall. S14 category.
And the gold last night, Welshie, in the 50 metres butterfly was Kale Thompson. So this morning it was herself and Jasmine Greenwood really fast on the way out. And again tonight it's Kale Thompson, just 0.3 of a second ahead of Greenwood at the turn. But Wallington, we've seen how dominant she's been throughout this competition so far. And Emily Beecroft, a little bit faster than this morning, out in 33.22 as they come home.
Yeah, Wallington looked good at the halfway mark, but Thompson and Greenwood really put the hammer down in this second 50. Thompson now looks to have an unassailable lead. She's got about half a body length and doesn't look to wanting to relinquish it with 5 metres left to swim. Couple of breaths, head down to the wall, and she touches in a 106.73. She comes away with 825 points, which is the top point score so far. We still wait for our final 2 swimmers to touch the wall, but Kale Thompson, 106.73, looks to have done enough for the win.
She really pushed strong there, Kale Thompson, our gold medalist last night from the 50 metres butterfly. It was a replica of this morning's preliminary, 106.73, the exact same time there for Kale Thompson. So she came home a little bit faster on that second 50, 107.39 for Greenwood. Both of the girls in the 800 points range, and Montana Atkinson, teammate and competitor, both S14s, Kale and Montana there. So a great swim from Montana Atkinson with 715 points. A great swim there from Montana Atkinson, cracking the 1:10 barrier. Thompson, Greenwood and Atkinson, and a great swim home.
Jake, not often we see the exact same time from morning and night, literally down to the second.
I reckon her coach probably said, look, just do what you do this morning. That was good enough.
and she took it quite literally.
She did it exceptionally well. That was a really good swim, and I believe at least she had a stronger back end. We always want to have that stronger back end on the second.
Consistency is key, isn't it? As we see the men walk out for the 800 metres freestyle event after a brilliant 400 on the first night last night with Samuel Short. Sam is looking to go 2 from 2. Elijah Winnington in lane 3. Goldemans in lane 5. Matthew Kalia in 6. This is a very tough field. Tex Cross, Thomas Hawke. This is a very strong field, and as fastest qualifier, Sam Short will not take this lightly. He dominates the start of the race, doesn't he? He gets out fast, he gets out strong. And
he was really happy
and
last
just holds
night.
that as long as he possibly can.
Well, actually, after the race last night when he won the 400, he said, I feel fit, I'm full of beans, and I can't wait to go in the 8 and the 15. So this is right up his alley, especially when you consider he's come back from the States where he had a victory over Daniel Whifford and Bobby Fink in the 800.
Yeah.
The last 2 Olympic gold medalists.
He's in fine form.
Great touch. Tex Cross one to watch. The youngster, the emerging youngster, the 19-year-old, who's really coming on quite quickly. Went to World Juniors in Romania, set PBs in the 4, the 8 and the 15.
Take your marks.
So the old rivals side by side. Elijah Winnington in lane 3, Sam Short in lane 4, the reigning national champion Ben Godemans in lane 5. Matt Galea was second in the national championships, and he's swimming from lane 6.
So we expect to see Sam Short making short work of this first 50. What we weren't expecting to see was Alec Mander going out very quickly in lane 7, 25.94. So a slightly different tactic there from Alec, just getting out quick. And let's see how that goes for him. But it is Short, Godemans in the middle of the pool. And Winnington there in lane 3, who's right on the shoulder of Sam Short.
So Mander continues to lead the race, pardon me, but ever so slightly. Then Sam, then Elijah, and Tex Cross pulls up into 4th position.
This is going to be an interesting race now. Sam Short is looking across. He's breathing to his right. He can see Alec Mander out there. I'm sure he's thinking, what are you playing at? This is my race. I'm going to get in front. I wonder if this pushes Sam Short to go a little bit quicker than he would have otherwise have done, and potentially go even faster. He gets the lead, 1:23.57 at the 150 metre mark. Alec Mander back to second. But this is quite the race.
Oh, it's pretty gutsy, isn't it, Jake, of Alec Mander? He's really taking it out there with the man who is the best in the world this year in the 800.
Absolutely. He might be thinking that no one can see him, but I think he'd be kidding himself, thinking that of Sam Short, who's taken over in that 4th 50 there, 1 minute 52.46. But Mander looking really strong, 1:54.05 through that first quarter of the race.
And that big lolloping stroke of Sam Short. He sits very high in the water. Nice big breath, get that oxygen in. It's quite an aggressive stroke for a 400. You usually see the stroke more like Winnington next to him in lane 3, that long stroke. And nice glide on each. But Sam Short really muscles it, but he makes it work for him so well. The kick's strong, but I know it'll get stronger as the race progresses. He's going to build each of these 200s and get stronger and stronger. Alec Mander, though, doing a fantastic job holding on, but I think Elijah Winnington just starting to peg him back and be on equal level with him now.
And just keep an eye on Tex Cross over there in lane 2. Very relaxed, long, almost a languid swimming stroke, ideally suited to these middle distance races. But Sam has taken over. He leads by the best part of 5 seconds after that turn. Elijah Winnington second, Alec Mander third, Tex Cross in 4th position.
They're playing a little bit of catch me if you can early. Was Mander, and a couple of them have caught him now. Winnington's just gone past him at the 300-metre turn. And we want to continue to see Sam Short go under that 30-second mark for each of those 50s to see him edge as far as possible under that 8-minute barrier, and 3 minutes 19.81. He's clocking 29s all the way through here is Sam Short.
Yeah, keeping an eye on those splits at the 50 and the 100. Keeping all the hundreds well under the minute at this stage. So it's a great spot to be. It doesn't look like an 800 does it for the swimmers out there. He looks very strong and he really is attacking this swim. So he's holding roughly 58 seconds for each 100 at this stage.
So past the halfway mark, the fastest Australian ever in this event, Sam Short, with a race-winning lead. It's a matter of how fast he's going to go from here. He holds the Australian record, 7 minutes 37.76, which he set back in 2023, a year when he was so brilliant during the World Champs in Fukuoka.
3 minutes 48 is an exceptional first half, but that's what it's going to take to get that 7 minutes 37. He doesn't look like he's backing off, and Mander as well, he took it out really strong, and he's still sitting in third there. So Elijah Winnington in that second position, but Sam Short 10 to 15 metres ahead now. He's storming to that 500-metre mark, and we're sure he's looking to build through that final 300 metres. There's just 6 laps to go for Sam Short.
We're still holding around that 58-second mark for each 100. And you're dead right, Jake. He doesn't look like he's holding back at all. He's not thinking, I've got about a 20-metre lead on the rest of the field. I could probably just take a holiday, because he knows that this race, when he races it internationally, he's got some competition and he's going to have to practice that strong swim the whole way through. So 5 laps to go now, 250 metres. And Sam Short really is showing his dominance. Looking good, Elijah Winnington. Only about 10 seconds back from Sam Short.
If Short can be at 5:45 here at the 600-metre mark, we know that that last 100 will hopefully be under 58. He's clocking 58s at the moment, but to get under that 7-minute 40 mark, it will take a strong last 100 as well, and he's certainly not slowing down.
Yeah, so still on that 58, about 58.5 seconds in that last 100. So very consistent, and that's the key. The amount of training that these swimmers do, the amount of pace work, they know exactly how fast they need to go. They know how fast to roll their arms over, the kick, how fast the water should feel as it goes past their body.
Looks like the minor placings may have been wrapped up, as well as Sam Short here in the gold medal position at this stage. Winnington in second at the moment, Tex Cross in third, but unless something miraculous happens, there is a race going on between Godemans and Galea. They're trying to catch Alec Mander as well for that fourth position, but it is Smith. Short, my apologies.
Short, and just went 29.14, so the fastest of 50 that he has swum so far. So he's only getting quicker, Sam Short, as he reaches the bell with 100 metres to swim.
6 minutes 44.19, so it's going to take a really fast last 100 here to get towards that 7-minute 40 mark. Elijah Winnington looking to go under the 8-minute mark there as well. 6 minutes 54.4, and Tex Cross 6 minutes 58 in the third position with 100 metres to go. You hear the bells.
Yeah, with almost a 25-metre lead, Sam Short turns for the final time and comes home. He's been holding 29s for the 50s, around that 58-second for the 100s. And look at the big kick. It comes in now, throws everything he can in this final 50 to get to that wall.
He's lifted his rate, hasn't he? He's breathing to his right, and you can tell he's riding that water the whole way home. He's really lifting on that final 25 metres.
He's made a mess of them. A huge win by Sam Short. He's at the peak of his powers right now.
Yeah, he was happy with his swim last night. He even said it in 7:41.04 this evening from Short, 7:51 from Winnington, but a convincing win there from Sam Short. A great start to the meet for him last night and carrying that through this evening. Tex Cross, great to see, sub 8 minutes, as well as Godemans there in lane 5.
So he's less than 4 seconds outside of his own Australian record with that swim, Sam Short.
And he's done it on his own. It was great to see Alec Mander take the mantle early on those first couple of laps, giving Sam Short something to chase. But that final 75% of that race there was all Short. He looked really good from start to finish, and it was fantastic to see. He really pushed himself. No point in coming out tonight and seeing himself ahead and backing off. He really pushed right to the end there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a dynamic swimmer to watch. He just goes out after it. You don't expect that for the distance swimmer. I expect to see a little bit of pace, a little bit of patience, but not at all. Gets out after it, and that's the result. Great last 100, showing his fitness. Got the 1500 tomorrow, and he's looking like he's absolutely on song for 3 from 3 for the 4, 8 and 15.
He's just got out of the pool in front of us and he wouldn't blow out a candle.
No, he's the amount of miles that he'd be doing in training, the 800's nothing compared to what he's used to be doing, and especially what he's been doing in his altitude training.
He said he felt fit, didn't he? That was something he said last night.
All right, let's hear from Sam again. He's certainly swimming brilliantly. He's with Emily.
Sam, what a swim. The 400, the 800, the 1500 tomorrow. What do you expect from that one?
Probably should have gone hard a bit earlier then. I had too much legs at the end, so I don't know, probably try and break myself in the 1500 tomorrow. I want to be really cooked towards the end of it, so 7:41. I think I was like 0.1 faster in Chicago like 4 weeks ago, so really wanted to go sub that 7:40, but you know, I was pretty much on my own for most of that there, so pretty happy.
It was a fantastic swim. Look, we're looking forward to you in those distance events. Obviously, you've just come back from altitude. Is that something that you're going to lead through into those Olympic events too?
Yeah, 100%. Quickest I've ever been in the 800 this time of year. I think altitude helps tremendously. You know, my whole competition internationally comes off altitude into their big comps, so I really want to add that into my arsenal, and you know, onwards and upwards from here.
After only getting off a plane last week, that was a fantastic 800, a great 400, and we can't wait to see you in the 1500.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, Sam. Great performance.
Great job, mate.
And he's a real student of swimming. Like we've come to learn over the last few years, he's across the history of the sport, not just in his own events, but particularly in his own events, but more broadly, the history of Australian sport. He knows the times off by heart. He's talking about incorporating regular altitude training into his schedule leading into LA. Like, this is the consummate professional, and he's only 22 years of age.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, and you know, a bit critical of himself there. He said he had too much legs at the back, potentially could have gone a little bit harder in the middle, but still a great swim, and it wouldn't have taken much to get under that 7 minutes 40.
3 minutes 48 on that first 400. I'm not sure I'd be hard on myself with that. Yeah. That's a really strong first 400, and he's still disappointed with how slow he went out. Lucky for Mander, though, he perhaps dragged him out.
So it's been a long and exciting finals program on night 2, and we've got 3 relays to finish things off.
Some familiar names in this as well, and looking forward to our women's 4x200 and men's 4x200 metres freestyle relays coming up. There are some common names here. We have Hugh Dole, Lani Pallister from St Peters Western will be backing up with not only this mixed 4x1 medley relay, but also the 4x200s as well. So this might be a bit of training for them, I would say. Bond, they dominated the relays last night. We'll see if they can do so again.
Against a couple of star-packed St Peters Western teams. They were able to get the better of them in 2 of the 3 relays that we saw on night 1. So maybe the St Peters Western team are trying to avenge for that disappointment last evening.
Intrigued to see as well some of the tactics that come into play with our male and female combinations here. I've seen in the past sending the ladies off early. Obviously, the boys can create quite a splash, disrupt the water for the ladies. So we do see a couple of each out here on the blocks for this start. The backstroke, of course, will be the first stroke through to breast, fly and free for the medley relay.
Yeah, the order does make a difference. It really depends on what tools you've got, basically. Who's fast in the backstroke, the butterfly. And each of them having a slightly different tactic.
Take your marks.
So the mixed medley relay, the most exciting part about this is the whole race can change on the back of one leg. So we could see quite a volatile race if it goes to form.
Yeah, it's always interesting in the medleys at the best of times. Chuck in a relay makes it even more volatile. You never know what is going to happen. Chuck in a mixed medley relay. Anything could happen. The team who is first could be last. The team who is last could be first. So keep an eye on every single swimmer in the pool. And it really is a battle of three at the moment in this early stage. Only one swimmer so far. We're not even a quarter of the way through the race.
Fenwick Kearns took the lead early, narrowly there from Biddington from Bond. And Bond were dominant last night in the relays, so they look to do the same again tonight. It's going to be really tight coming down to this back-to-breast changeover, but it's going to be at this stage.
It's the Manly club with the lead. Second position at the moment, the Southport B team. And then we had Nunawading up there. We've got two Southport teams competing in the same relay in their home pool.
Bailey Lello in the water now from St Peter's Western, so keep an eye on the middle of the pool, lane 4. We know how dominant he is in the breaststroke.
Yeah, very greedy for the points is South Point. Two teams right next to each other. And as we said, anything can happen. Really strong swim there from Bond. They took out the relay last night and looking to replicate that at this stage. So Fiver about to jump in for the 100 butterfly. She gets a nice lead from St Peter's and Manly. He touches second and third, respectively.
Gideon Burns there, our surprise winner from earlier in the night, was the breaststroke swimmer there on the second leg, which gave Bond the lead. Now Claudia Fiedler takes over for the Bond team.
So Hugh Dole there from St Peter's in lane 4. Starting to catch Claudia Fiedler. Got about a second to go, and you'd expect Dole to just come over the top, and both finishing off with a female freestyle leg, which is tactically a good move.
So Hugh Dole from St Peter's Western has given that team the lead. It's a really good swim here by Claudia Fiedler. Bond are going to be somewhere in the mix, but it looks like it's going to be a showdown between the two heavyweight lineups.
Lani Pallister now in the water, so that's going to be a really hard battle for anyone else in the pool as she looks really strong. Lane 5 going to make it hard for her though, Dominique Melbourne. But it's going to be Pallister. She's had an exceptional meet so far. She's going to back it up soon yet again tonight. So a great swim so far from Pallister. Soon she's going to be in the 4x200 metres freestyle relay.
Yeah, it's like having a couple of aces in your pocket on the poker table when you've got Lani Pallister anchoring your medley relay. So virtually impossible to come over the top of. And she's extended the lead. She looks incredible. The 100 metres just a sprint for her.
And she's racing away with it. They got the tactics spot on. St Peter's Western go on to win. And Bond in second position, courtesy of Dominic Melbourne, swimming home that freestyle leg. And then Manly through Sarah Locke, who finished in third.
Some club rivalries in there and some pride for the club too, which is great to see. Almost a full field 9 of our 10 lanes being used tonight in our mixed relays. So a really strong swim there from Palliser to bring it home in a 54. A really strong swim. So 3 minutes 49 from St. Peter's will take the win. The only team under 3 minutes 50 in that mixed 4x100 metre medley relay.
I love seeing the competitors get behind each other. These are the people they spend so much time with day in, day out, all the training sessions and getting up for the relays. It's great to see them getting that club pride and get some extra points for the overall club point score. So one more relay to go for tonight.
It's a match race.
Two more, in fact.
We've got two more, but the next one's the women's 4x200. It's St. Peter's Western versus St. Peter's Western. It's a match race. There's only two teams here, both from the same club. And Lani's just jumped out of the pool. She's going to be jumping back into it very soon. She's going to be swimming the third leg up against Molly O'Callaghan.
Well, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I have seen before where they'll actually swim both of these races at the same time, and we may, in fact, have that happen. Are the boys coming out? No, it's going to be two separate races. It was obviously too hard to work out. But yes, Lani Palliser walks off with one team, walks back with another.
She may as well have stayed in there.
And there she is. She's still behind the block, so it looks like no swim down, we call it.
Hopefully she... do we know what leg she's swimming? Did you say?
Third leg.
Third leg. I thought they might have given her fourth to give her a bit more of a break.
St. Peter's Western A versus B. St. Peter's Western A, Amelia Webber, Shayna Jack, Molly O'Callaghan, Jacqueline Davison McGovern. And St. Peter's Western B, Miller Jansen, Steph McCarthy, Lani Palliser, Jenna Forrester.
Wow.
There have to be even teams. You wouldn't have Molly in the... Although they are called the A team, the team with Molly, but you wouldn't have Molly and Miller Jansen.
Should we just get them to paper, scissors, rocket?
Surely the winning team gets free coffee for a week.
They shout. Shout all week.
Well, this is a bit of fun. An old school match race between the same club.
So welcome to the St. Peter's Western Club Championships.
Amelia Webber in lane 4 and Miller Jansen in lane 5.
And we heard Shayna Jack talk earlier about bringing the girls together, our fastest swimmers or sprinters around Australia, to go head-to-head, and it looks like St. Peter's Western will do the same here tonight. Pretty evenly matched teams, so a bit of club rivalry to see who can take the win.
Well, seeing the 6 girls who are yet to jump in the water, they are having a few little laughs and a few little push and shoves to see who is going to be the St. Peter's Western team to come out on top. Fairly conservative swim so far in the first leg of this 4x200 freestyle. As we come down to the 100-metre mark.
It's going to be a sprint home by the looks of things. It's basically a dawdle through the first 100. Webber's going to turn half a body length ahead of Jansen, and surely the race comes on now.
I think the girls can go faster than 102 and 103, can't they?
There's something going on here. I feel like going out and... What's happening? We're keeping it slow, are we? Thank you, Shayna. Okay.
We have to build. We have to build through the race.
Building through, okay. We almost tempted to go out onto pool deck with a microphone and see what is going on.
We'll have to send Coach Welsh out there to get to the bottom of all of this.
One minute 36 for Webber, 1 minute 36 for Jansen there. So looks like a back-end race. They're really putting it on now. I think we need to hype this up.
All right. Amelia Webber and Miller Jansen. Now they're in a proper race. It's Amelia narrowly. Jansen trying to close that gap. They're going to go to the wall pretty much locked together. There's nothing between them.
Oh, 1/10. Wow. Miller Jansen got there 1/10 of a second ahead of Amelia Webber. And let's see if these next girls do the same thing. Shayna Jack and Steph McCarthy. If we go at this rate, it might be the final two girls racing for that touch on the wall at the 800-metre mark.
So Coach Welsh is on the case. He's gone over to the girls. We're going to get to him shortly and find out what's going on here. There's some team tactics involved, no doubt. So Shayna is dawdling along next to Steph McCarthy. So it looks like a warm-up swim from these girls at the moment, but I'm sure it'll follow the same pattern as the first leg. They'll probably look to come home a bit quicker in the final lap.
Going to presume this won't be the case in our men's relay. Multiple clubs in action. I don't think there'll be secrets going on in the men's version of our 4x2 tonight. Let's see what happens here on this 450. They're neck and neck at this stage.
Well, Shayna is not used to swimming this slow at all. She won. She's one of our great sprinters, of course. So this is just a walk in the park for her. And fair to say, Molly and Lani don't go particularly slow either, and they're going to be swimming the third leg coming up. All right, Coach Welsh, what is happening?
Well, I said I would come down here and see what is going on. Lani's about to jump in the water, so I'm going to annoy her, seeing that you guys are all having a bit of fun. Lani, what is this? This is 150 easy, 50 hard, yeah? Come on.
Well, I was actually just in the water for 100, so I missed the debrief. You'll have to ask one of the other girls.
You're passing the blame is what you're doing. You're not taking ownership, but this is what it looks like. It's a match race over the last 50 metres. It's 150 where they just even up and then have a bit of fun. So basically they're renting the pool to have a bit of fun and have their club championships.
Good investigation.
But again, just 1/10 of a second separated them at the halfway mark. So whatever they're doing it well here.
Yeah, they're organising it perfectly, aren't they?
Two champions of the pool now.
Well, it's not in their makeup to go slow, Molly and Lani, but they're just cruising along side by side. I wonder if Molly will break with the team tactics here. Maybe she'll take off.
And if she does, I'm going to guess that Lani will go with her.
Yeah.
It's not in Lani's nature to let her do that either. So let's see what happens on this third leg.
Yeah, Lani was very much a politician, saying, oh, it's not me, I didn't do it. But it is good to see the girls having so much fun and making the most of the opportunity, just the two teams in there. So let's see the big battle of the final 50 metres of Lani and Molly.
And as we joke about it, through the 500-metre mark.
It's a good training technique. You can see on the other side the coach just telling them to slow down. They're going too fast.
The 5:07 and 5:08 at the 500-metre mark, for something we're joking about a little bit, is still very quick, just over a minute per 100.
Easily, aren't they?
So we're used to seeing Dean Boxall run up and down the side of the pool telling his swimmers to
go
get
faster.
going. Faster. Well, it's the opposite. So now they click into gear.
And Molly was 0.72 of a second ahead of Lani going into that turn. So Lani's got 0.7 up her sleeve.
And this is a sort of thing that, we see a lot in training now, these sort of fun activities to really engage the athletes and get the best out of them.
Still nothing between them. Molly touches the wall narrowly ahead of Lani, and so we hand over now to Jacqueline Davison-McGovern in lane 4 and Jenna Forrester in lane 5.
And Lani was 0.3 of a second faster than Molly there. So if it's a race of that final 50, Lani narrowly as we go to our final leg.
Well, I would love to see it. The race after this is the men's 4x200 freestyle relay. I think we might have discovered a new event. Can we get the boys to do the same tactic, 150 easy, 50 hard, and have a match race over that last 50? But Dean Boxall is very clever at making these engaging sets, engaging swims, and he's done it again in the public eye this time, and got the girls to just have it nice and easy. Get next to each other, make sure we're nice and even with 50 metres to go, and then absolutely drop the hammer.
And maybe with all of their racing over the last couple of months and training, of course, these girls might be skimping on their recovery. So maybe this might be a tactics for them to get a couple of hundred extra in their recovery swim tonight.
You've spoken a couple of times, though, Matt, about how this engages the swimmer. People watching at home around Australia will be thinking, well, what is the advantage in swimming slower and trying to pace yourself against your teammate in the next lane? What would the objective be there?
Well, the pace that they're doing over that last 50 would obviously be a much higher pace than they normally would. Let's say you give it a 7 out of 10 for each lap. They're doing a full 10 out of 10 for the last lap. So as far as a quality swim goes, this last 50 is
quite on it now. Only 6/100ths of a second. Look at that underwater there, all the way from Jennifer Forrester in lane 5. The hammer drops, and this sort of pace work, you just can't do this in training. You're in a competition pool, you got everyone watching, and there is pride on the line. So this sort of pace work is so important to get.
This is the last 10 metres of the race, and the B team are going to go in and upset the A team.
I'm sure a very proud coach and Dean Boxall, as Lani Pallister runs around the pool. She lost a cap somewhere in the middle. She's going to dive in and grab that. And Dean's there having a chat with the other coaches about what they learnt from that exercise.
Well, I can tell you that they were about 40 seconds outside the world record.
Results on your screen, which are completely irrelevant and useless, to be honest. It was quite a demonstration of what they could do. As we welcome the boys out on deck, I think we should introduce something like that to this race, that one of them has got to swim one of the legs slow or something.
Well, there's 2 St Peters Western teams in this, but
I can't imagine they're going to do
to go out the window, because they've got Nudgee College and Sydney University and Cranbrook to compete against. Plus the team from Darwin, I should mention as well, over in lane 2. They've come a long, long way. There's going to be no team tactics from the team from Darwin.
Not.
They're out here and trying to make the most of their moment in the big spotlight.
Yeah, I think the A team here for St Peters Western might be a genuine A team. Smith, Taylor, Winnington and Galea.
Yeah, when you've got that many people, do you put your fastest forward and your next fastest, or do you split them up and give yourself the best chance of 1-2 potentially?
Looking at the names on this sheet, I think it's going to be St Peters Western. They'll be really hard to beat. Some Olympians in here.
Take your marks.
It's the final race of night 2. The team from Darwin in lane 2, St Peters Western B in lane 3, St Peters Western A lane 4, Nudgee College. Lane 5, lane 6, Sydney Uni, and lane 7, Cranbrook.
So thankfully, looks like we've got a clean race here with everyone vying for first spot. Marcus de Silva gets it at the 50-metre mark rather, at 25.15. Only 100th behind him though is Alex Squash. So still pretty tight. We saw the 200 free already tonight, and we saw the tactics that they used getting over the top of the rest of the field in that third 50. But it's De Silva who's pushed ahead of Quash. Got a bit over a second lead on the rest of the field now. His second swimmer's going to be very happy with him. And he's given them a lead this early in the race.
And sometimes for our first swimmers, it's a great opportunity for them in the competition pool. Bright lights to throw a time down. And it looks like Marcus de Silva's doing exactly that. But lane 5 as well, coming home really strong. And we have Brendan Smith in lane 4 from St Peters Western. We know that he's going to finish strong as well. But Marcus de Silva through 1:20 with a 50 to go. I think this is going to be a really strong swim here from Marcus de Silva.
Yeah, and this counts when you start off a relay. You're starting off the gun. It's exactly the same as an individual swim. So this counts as an official time for him. There's no relay changeover to have that advantage of the momentum. And no reaction. So Marcus de Silva brings them down. He touches the wall in a 1:48.80. A very competitive time. Quash in a 1:50.65. And third for Brendan Smith from St Peters A. Kai Taylor in now. And this is where the race starts getting a little bit tighter. So great swim there from Marcus de Silva to get Cranbrook out. But now the centre 2 lanes have just taken over a little bit. Nudgee College and St Peters A.
Yes, that's Lincoln Burrows swimming for Nudgee College. They turned in the lead, so it didn't take them long to grab back that advantage.
Look at Kai Taylor here. He's eyeballing and breathing to his left down this second lap. And it's going to be a race in those middle two lanes through the 300. They're going to turn neck and neck. And in fact, Kai Taylor just ahead there of Lincoln Burrows. And over the near side of the pool, it was a great start from De Silva, but falling behind a little bit now. And it seems to be a race of two. And Kai Taylor's picked up the speeds, picked up that stroke rate on the third lap.
Yeah, nice big kick from that third 50. Fast feet, nice big splash at the back to drive him forward. Got about a 2-second lead over Nudgee College, coming down to the halfway point.
This is quite the swim by Kai Taylor. They were locked together 75 metres ago. He's dismantling his opponents.
Handing over to Elijah Winnington now, so we'll see what these boys can produce tonight with 2 legs to go. And a nice change over there from second to third. A great swim from Kai Taylor, who's put the gap on the rest of his competitors, and we know that with those changeovers we need one part of the body remaining on the blocks when the previous swimmer's hand touches the wall.
Looks to be Bailey Lello in the water for St Peter's B, turning his hand from the breaststroke to the freestyle. But Elijah Winnington with a very strong 10 to 15 metre lead over Nudgee College. Matthew Magnuson there in second.
Always a great chance to put your skills to the test. That, as we mentioned before, under the lights and the national championships, why not go as fast as possible? We know that for some of these athletes, they're not tapered. This isn't the benchmark event for them at this stage in the year. So this is, at the very least, a great chance for them to put some training into practice. And Elijah Winnington now is motoring in that third lap through 4:31, the 500 metre mark. St Peter's A is looking really strong. And at this stage as well, there is a battle for those minor placings. At this stage in lane 5, looking really strong. But look to lanes 3 and 6. They look like they're putting in a little battle here for the bronze medal position. That's St Peter's Western B and Sydney University as well.
So Elijah Winnington pulling well ahead. A huge advantage here for St Peter's Western. Nudgee College still there in second. Matthew Magnuson swimming this leg for them, but look at the gap.
He's not slowing down, is he, Winnington? He's about to hand over to Matthew Galea. So what a great athlete to hand over to, as well as St Peter's A now in the water for their final leg. 5 minutes 25. We'll see how far under that 8-minute mark.
Elijah Winnington swam hard into that wall. There was no soft touch, executing all of the skills perfectly. Even though you've got a huge lead on the rest of the field, got to keep the skills up. As the battle for third really has heated up, only less than 0.17 of a second separating second and third with 200 metres to go. I think we can safely assume that first and second have tied up, but third is still definitely anyone's at this stage.
We love to see a race, don't we? And another 0.2 apart from these two clubs at the 650 metre mark. Galea's going to go through in that first position, 6 minutes 19. As well, lane 5 here looking to wrap up that silver medal, being Nudgee College. What I'd love to see, guys, Sam Short, I'd love to see him compete against these guys and do all 4 legs on his own. I think he'd beat a couple of these teams.
Well, that'll be very interesting. We'll see the times.
He had enough left in the tank. He could have taken it on. He's got the 15 tomorrow. Might have to try and conserve
what do we have, a
some of that energy.
7:41? Let's see how he measures up. That battle for third very much still on, but St Peter's Western B, Goderman's probably got the slight edge on Costello.
Great last couple of legs here from St Peter's A with Winnington. Well, it really started from Kai Taylor. That second half of his split, the second split, and Galea's not slowing down. They're going to take the gold.
And a good time of 7:17.33. Harrison Turner finishes off for Nudgee College. They finish in second spot.
There's a hot contest for the bronze medal, but it's going to be St Peter's B coming home, 7:35. Ben Godeman swam away there from Matthew Costello on that final lap. And Sydney University, 4th.
And Sam Short would have been 5th in that race, but only by 1 second or thereabouts. So that would have been quite an interesting experiment.
Great to see Darwin as well over there crack the 8 minutes. So on average, each swimmer sub 2 minutes.
So victory for St Peter's Western. First and third to them, and Nudgee College splitting them on the podium. So confirming those results to conclude the second night's competition. St Peter's Western A, Nudgee College, St Peter's Western B. It's been a huge night of action here at the 2026 Australian Open, coming to you from the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. All the sessions live on 9 Now. And the final day of competition tomorrow, day 3, kicking off at 9 a.m. We look forward to your company there.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.